Trying to get the chat up.
Oh, happy Sunday, everybody. We are here and we are live. Today's kind of a different thing. We're kind of giving a little bit of a trial of something. So, first of all, obviously, we know the gravity of today's date, 9/11. So, I want to make sure that everybody keeps that in mind and we think about the sacrifices that our American citizens went through and first responders that day and that awful, awful event, a cowardly sucker punch. But we are the greatest nation in the world, in my opinion, and we got right back up. So let's all be thankful for that. God has blessed this nation. I truly believe will continue to. But for tonight, we're going to have fun. We're going to hang out. I am joined, as always, as my two partners in crime, no pun intended, right? With Terry Iron Auditor. Terry, how are you?
I'm doing great, sir. How you doing this fine, wonderful evening? Hello
You
to
know what?
everybody in the chat tonight.
If I was to answer you that and be honest, you would probably say I was whining because you guys probably already know that I feel like crap, but I'm blessed. So we'll keep going with that, okay? And Derek, at Bits and Pieces. Derek, how are you, buddy?
Pretty good, guys. Pretty good.
Good, good, good. So tonight's just kind of a hanging out, and we're gonna try something. We had actually talked, excuse me, we had actually talked about doing some stuff with doing some video reaction type stuff, maybe doing some police breakdown video reactions to police auditors for auditors and everybody in between. So I have got, in my opinion, the best auditor in the country, in my opinion. And I may just be a little biased because he's our local guy, but I think Terry's probably the most realistic. So I want his opinion on stuff from an auditor standpoint. And I will give you the only police opinion that I know is probably the worst one that I can give you, but I'll do my best and I'll pretend at least. And then we got Derek, Derek's a good guy and he's a level-headed guy. So we're going to try to go from a not auditor opinion, a not police opinion, and kind of give you a three-way perspective on things. That's my goal anyway. And I've got Mrs. Legislator with me as always. She's always right with me. Hey, did you guys see she actually done a video today? Did you guys see
Yeah,
that?
seen that.
Yeah, she's learning and she's going to start doing some more stuff. So, but for now, Terry, who we got in the chat? Is he still with us?
Oh, sorry about that. Having a little technical difficulties there. Let's see. We've got Roseanne Mossman out there. We have Mrs. Bits. We have Artsac Union. There's Mrs. Bits again. She's popping up a lot there. We have Chili the Proctologist Lover. We have Mel Gibbons. Bendon. Well, hold on a second here. Bendon Spreadum de Castro. We have good old boy Christine Lovelace. We have Sarah.
Wait a
Carlin.
minute. Wait a minute. We have Flat Derp.
Yeah, Flat
Ladies
Derp.
and gentlemen.
Oh, hello,
Please.
Flat Derp. How you doing? We have Mr. Four Twitch and Mama Cholito. Cholita Sue everybody and 1,300 feet per second. So we've got some names in here tonight. Hello, everybody.
You just screwed up because 13 FPS is going to sue you now, Terry.
Well, you know, hey, at least I'll be sued by somebody. Hell, I'm not even important enough to be sued by Chili.
Well, let me tell you this. The 1,300 FPS is not actually referring to feet per second for bullets. It's actually how fast he can file lawsuits. It's impressive.
He can do it at 1,300 feet per second. Huh? That's pretty quick.
It's a 9mm plus P.
That is quick right there.
One of these days, I'm going to get a Flat Derp video. One day.
You just got to keep dreaming, baby.
I'm just going to dream.
You got to keep going. You just got to keep going. You know, I
made
it to the top.
You know your life.
I've been to the top of the mountain, and it is good.
I was going to say, you know your life's getting great when you appear in a Flat Derp video. It means all is right with the world.
Jealous.
Of course, I'm not going to lie. I had to beg, and I had to plead. But there's no shame in this game, okay? If it took me making a special video and crying, I done it. I'll do what I got to do, right? But
I figured there wasn't much point in wasting my time. I haven't even been threatened by Chili, so there wasn't much point in worrying about Flat Derp making a video with me for sure.
Flat Derp, that's Derek Bits and Pieces that's asking about a video, and Derek is if you're not familiar with Derek, his content's hilarious, and he's if you're not on his channel, you need to be.
I thought of something. So somebody asked me in a comment section, say, "Hey, have you got your lawsuit yet?" It's like, no, I don't think so. I said, I think the main reason is because Chili threatened to have sex with my butt on stream. Like
Right.
that was sexual harassment, like right there. I was like, I think that's why he's not suing me yet.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, can you put a link to your channel? Oh, never mind.
there
He's
you
on it.
go. There you
I
go.
got your back.
Oh man, see. So that's kind of where we're at, and once again, and you guys know how I think about Flat Derp. I love his stuff, and
Oh,
he's a
dude,
very very talented guy, and his material is hilarious. Oh, excuse me, and
cracks me up.
I was blessed enough to be part of it when he actually said, "Hey, you record some lines for me," and I was like, "Yeah, of course." So, excuse me, guys, I'm fighting that crud, and you're going to hear me coughing and hacking. It's almost going to be like one of my normal videos, except now I'm on live, so I'm going to be coughing and hacking in your face all the time. This has been terrible, man. I've been fighting this. Is anybody else dealing with this? It's almost
Monty.
like flu almost, but I don't have the aches. I just feel like crap.
It's a man cold.
It's not a man cold. If it was a man, first of all, man colds are a lot worse than women colds. I know for a fact. She's just jealous because I'm so tough.
So what is it? Instead of being full of shit, you're full of snot? Is that how it's working out?
Yep.
You know what?
Yep.
But I have, not to be gross, but I've blown my nose so many times a day. My nose is like I swear it feels like it's on fire.
Feel like you got it tapped with dynamite, huh?
Oh my gosh. And like, we got those tissues with the lotion or whatever, the
Yeah.
aloe lotion or whatever in them. And it doesn't matter. It still feels like sandpaper. I know, Susie, the Flonase and the Claritin, but I swear I really don't think it's seasonal. I think this crap is actually like, I don't know.
Flat Derp said maybe it's male menopause.
Well, you know what? I don't know, but we know that a certain little short asshole that we all know probably went to the gynecologist to get his physical.
Now, is it menopause or is it mental, mental pause?
Yeah, no, that's probably, well, my wife would probably tell you that. Corrections, what's up, man? The C word. Flat Derp, watch, you can't say that here.
I got in trouble for saying that.
That C word, man, that's like a cuss. You can't say that.
Somebody got on to me for calling Laura Laguna a cunt on the video. It's like, she pissed me off, dude.
And I'm terrible with names when it comes to these people. That's the one that he was supposedly dating or something.
She is. She's definitely an attention seeker. Like, her big thing is she's going after Kate and anybody that's associated with Kate. She had an interview with Chili Turtle Boy. Now she posted an interview today with the guy. He's famous for raising the medicine prices for an AIDS treatment, like 3,000% or something like that, and he got put in prison for it. And she's like making this big deal, like he's fucking Superman. Like, she's a piece of shit. Sorry, she pissed me off.
Oh wow. So let me ask you
You do
this.
realize that word is actually a military acronym, don't you?
Which one?
It stands for can't understand normal thinking.
Huh. I didn't know that.
That is actually where that originally came from, and how it got synonymous with what people think that word means now is anybody's guess. But originally it was a military acronym, can't understand normal thinking, CUNT.
Now I learned something. That's like my favorite word.
Well, just for the record, Chiletto the Psycho is telling us all to get away from him. So we have to back off because he's going to sue us. And I heard that 1,300 FPS is going to be his legal counsel. He's going to sign a power of attorney, and we all know that works.
I don't know. I'm kind of worried about the power, I can tell you that.
Oh, me too. Me too. That's scary, isn't it? Hey, Butch, how are you? I just seen that name pop up. But I'm just kind of letting a few more people get in here and just kind of hanging out with you guys. And what if you're just now coming in? Our numbers are kind of keep steadily going up here. So if you're just now coming in, we're going to do some breakdown videos and stuff. And I think Derek might have a little bit of material for us to do here momentarily. So we're going to go through some breakdowns. I don't know what he's got. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what he's got. I kind of told him to surprise me. So we might have police, we might have auditor, we might have auditor, I don't know what we're going to have, but we are going to have fun. And I'm going to tell you my honest opinion about things. can assure you, Terry's already given me his word. He's going to give you an honest opinion on his perspective, and we know that Vince will do the same. So, and then we'll get your all's perspective on it, what you guys think about it throughout the night, and what we're doing here. So, once again, I'll remind everybody, because obviously that's what I have to do. I have to whine. That I bear with me, because I am feeling like crap with the sinus crap going on. And I also want to remind you again that we are dealing with a very solemn day in our great nation. Um, and we are blessed as a nation, and with our wonderful allies and such, we were able to make some adjustments to some attitudes overseas, and we have definitely gotten back up. Now, I don't necessarily agree with politics one way or the other. It doesn't matter. But we as a nation and we as a people are back up again. And I don't think that that's ever going to be an issue. We're going to always.
You do realize this is also Chili's birthday today, if I'm not mistaken, September 11th. So he should have joined me at 48 years old today.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yes. He told me that September 11th was his birthday, so today should be the day.
Oh well, you know what? In all honesty, happy birthday, Chili. You know, that's I don't hate the man. You know, I hope he has a blessed day. You know, I know he don't like me very well, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not a real fan of his either, but I still hope the man enjoys his birthday. Hopefully he gets.
He should get a hold of me. I have a great suggestion for an awesome knee brace. I use one myself.
Okay, well, you know, I don't think he needs it, Terry, because I'm not gonna do it. I was going to, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Let's just say he's healed awfully fast.
I mean, if they could chase around Kate's and all that stuff, and
you know, I didn't see that video. I did not see that one, because I remember you telling me about it and said I guess she done it on her live or something later on that night.
Yeah, she was talking about that live and how everything went in the courtroom, and I guess Chili saying he's the one that won, and it wasn't really the case. It was just him getting kicked out of court. I guess he.
Hey Cap, you're being asked to check your email there in the chat by SD666. Sorry, Derek,
Okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good.
Let me see if I can get it here, Scumdog. Go ahead, Derek. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of excusing myself here momentarily.
Oh, I was going to say, so today, it's 9/11, September 11th. You know, we all know some of the stuff that happened that day. One of my things I always like to see is you always remember something that's happened, like a major event in your life. You usually remember what time it was, where you was, and what you was doing. And I kind of wanted to see what you guys and the guys in chat.
Weird. I was going to say that, Derek. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what I was actually getting ready to ask each of you on a more, before we get into the fun stuff and have on a real solemn note, because I think we probably all can say exactly what we were doing that day. But yeah, by all means, lead us that way, please.
So yeah, like I said, yeah, we all kind of probably know exactly where we was when we got the news of this. Now I remember I was in high school at the time. I think I was maybe a freshman, maybe. I was in health class. I was watching Remember the Titans with our teacher. His name was Coach Rowe, and the dude was like a white Denzel Washington. I kid you not. The dude sounded like him, acted like him, had his mannerisms, and like was just sitting there. And all of a sudden, he goes to the door, and what I remember, he comes back, turns the movie off, and turns on the television, and that's when you saw the first tower was hit. But yeah, we were just sitting there while it happened. They locked down the school. Everybody was on alert. It was like massive chaos. Like they just shut everything down like immediately. Because you know, we thought. I mean, we was kind of, if you think about it, we was invaded, but we was invaded from within. But you know, we thought, hey, we're going to war like right now. We're getting invaded by another country. This is bad, and I mean, it still is. It's fucking crazy, dude.
Sad. Terry, how about you?
Well, I was actually driving. I lived in Columbus at the time. I was very, very much younger than I am now, obviously. And I was driving my wife to have her hair done to the hair salon. And right before we get there, just a few miles before we get there, we were listening to the Howard Stern morning show, because the radio show that I normally listen to had been taken over by the Howard Stern show at that point, just a few weeks before that. And they broke in with the news. And so I dropped her off at the salon, and it was like a big strip mall. So I walked across to Target and tuned in one of their TVs, and I stood there for hours and watched it all.
It was so sad. I'll
I
tell you.
seen out there, Mr. Fortwit says that Terry doesn't believe that 9/11 happened. I'm not sure where he got this idea. We may agree or disagree on exactly who or what caused it. However, whether or not it happened, I think everybody knows that it happened.
Well, I'll tell you this. It was actually my day off, September 11th, 2001. I was actually off work. And I was actually, oddly enough, I was actually putting together a fish aquarium. Um, we were going to set up my ex-wife now at the time, but um, we were going to put up a fish aquarium, and we had went to a pet store. And on the drive up there, we just were chatting and didn't have the radio on or anything, so I had no idea anything was going on. And when I go into this pet store, I wasn't greeted like I expected, and like the employees were kind of like huddled around a little tiny TV in the corner in the back. And I went back there and I started watching, and I could see, and I was like, "What is going on?" Like, it just kind of stumped me. And I remember, and I'm sure a lot of people can remember that throughout that day specifically, there was a moment of disbelief where it's like, this can't really be happening. Like, I mean, they're attacking civilian type targets. Because like Derek said, we didn't know at the time if this was a military type attack. And to me, I mean, my opinion, but or what was going on. And then it was kind of one of those things where it was terrifying. And after the disbelief and you kind of grasp the reality, there was a moment of obviously fear. And it was just such a solemn, heartbroken day. And it was just helplessness, just a terrifying feeling of helplessness. And by the end of the day, I'll be honest, it turned into pure anger for me. I
See,
remember as
that's how it was for me. I was very angry. I had just been discharged from the military in March of that year, and then September they did that, and here I am standing there staring at that TV, thinking about whose ass we were going to go kick for this one.
that's me. I'm sitting there, and I was not in the military, but I'll be honest, I actually called a recruiter at that time, and I was thinking, man, maybe I should go ahead and enlist, because somebody needs their ass whooped for this.
Right?
Um, but I didn't. But I'll share this with you guys. That was part of the reason that led me into law enforcement later on, because it was a feeling of, well, I can't leave because I did have a baby on the way, um, but I felt helpless, and later on, I eventually decided to join the police department. So I'm going to add Scumdog real fast. Scumdog, what's up, my friend?
What do you say, Scum Dog? How you doing tonight?
Hey, how's everyone doing? Can you hear me?
It sounds like it's pouring the rain there, Scumdog.
I'm in the hot tub.
Oh man, you're like
Well, it
freaking
must
Uncle
be
Artie.
nice.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know Scumdog was the new Uncle Artie. Oh, so Scumdog, I'm sure well, I know you're in the chat, so you kind of know what's going on. But I'll ask you too. Can you tell me? Do you remember where you were at on 9/11/2001?
Yes, it was my senior year, and I was in world history class. And a friend of mine came in and was like, did you see what happened, or did you hear what happened? And I said, no, what happened? I'm thinking like there's like a high school fight or something like that. They're like, no, apparently a plane ran into the World Trade Center. And I'm thinking like, I thought it was like one of those little, little putt-putt planes with the one of those single prop planes, maybe just ran into it or something like that.
Right.
And it was probably like after when the class let out, they just said, hey, everyone's going home. We're pretty much under attack. And the weird thing was, it was like when we that week, that Friday, we like, I think it was my class, and I think it was juniors, got like a a letter basically explaining like the draft or something like that. It was really weird.
That's you know what, and I don't know if you got a chance to hear, because I know that you were probably just coming on, but that's what I was even saying. You know, is in the beginning of this, you know, it was a moment of disbelief, you know, and then it went from that to after we realized that it was real, then it become, you know, sadness, heartbroken, and then helpless, and then all of a sudden it become like, you know what, where do I sign up? Because somebody needs your ass with, you know.
Yeah.
But it's that, you know, that's kind of how it hit me anyway. Which, I mean, I did not join. I'm actually, that's probably one of my, and I'll save that for a different stream one day. But that's one of my biggest overall regrets, was not joining. Overall,
Mine too,
I mean,
absolutely.
I wish I would have joined. I feel like I owe this, you know, to the greatest nation on earth. And I probably should have, could have. I mean, I was able-bodied and a young man that probably should have went and served, but I didn't. So, and I hate that. I really do hate that I didn't. But we'll talk about that on a later stream. So, but
yeah, it's funny you say that, because I think it was like that month. I think it was like probably 2 weeks after that we had, because like we usually, like, I started noticing, like, when I started high school, like either one time in the fall or one time in the winter or spring, they would have like a recruiting booth set up, whether it be Air Force, Marine Corps, Army, Coast Guard, whatever branch. And it was, I think September, it was the Marine Corps' turn, so it was switching into fall. And I just remember, like, the Marine Corps recruiting booth, there was a line stretching from the lobby to the cafeteria, and it was like a good distance away.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know, it was breathtaking, because I was like, wow, there's a lot of people who care about this nation. And, you know, I didn't sign up because I just didn't, you know. But I think as I grew older, all my friends, you know, going, listening in the service and going into war, you know what I mean, and coming out, and I kind of like regretted it in a way. So that's probably that's one of the main reasons why, I guess it doesn't really make sense to anyone else, but it kind of makes sense to me, is the reason why I am pursuing law enforcement, because I didn't join the service. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely. And I'll tell you this too, and this is kind of a different feeling that I remember when all this was going on. I remember thinking, do we know who done this? You know what I mean? Like, because it felt like nobody was saying it. You know, like, and I thought, do we know? We should know. Like, how do we have, you know, the most sophisticated technology and defense systems on Earth, and we don't know who done this? You know, of course,
and the largest intelligence community on the globe.
Yeah, you know, and our defense budget is higher than the next top 10, from number 2 through number 10. Our defense budget is greater than the rest of them combined. And how do we not know? And I was thinking, something doesn't sit right with me. But only thing I was thinking was, somebody needs their ass whipped, you know. And do you guys remember after that, those commercials that they shared? Like, it was like a national campaign, and they shared, and it says, on September 11th, 2001, terrorists tried to change the face of America. And then it shows like this street down Anywhere USA type thing, you know. And it says, and they achieved. And then it comes back, and like every single house has an American flag outside. Do you guys remember those?
Oh, yeah.
That was such a great commercial. And you know what? That is so sad that we've lost that, man.
Yeah,
how quickly we forget something we were never supposed to forget, huh?
Yeah.
You know, and it's
like, you couldn't, like, the American flag, you couldn't keep you couldn't keep an American flag, even one of the garden ones. You couldn't keep them on, like, stores couldn't keep them on the shelves because people were buying them up.
You know,
like, where did that go?
I don't know.
I mean, now you get chastised and hated on if you even mention the American flag in America. Even, I mean, it's. I don't know, man.
I teach my children, you know, to when we're talking about the American flag, and I'll just randomly just like get it and like hold it and go like, isn't it beautiful? And they're just kind of looking at me like, well, it's not really anything. It's just red, white, blue. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's not just the colors. That's not what I'm talking about.
The meaning.
You guys don't realize. You know, I actually, you know, and you guys know, obviously, my channel. I mean, my name. I'm Legicator, so you guys know how I am about the Pro 2A and, you know, our freedoms. And I actually took my oldest son with me one time to buy a firearm. And we went in, you know, we excuse me, we went in and we actually bought a gun. And in the meantime, what we done was, you know, I'd done a background check and so on, and you know, went through the whole process. And we walk out, and he says, "So what will we do that?" I said, "I want you to realize something." I said, "Okay." He says, "Do you realize what we just done right there?" And he says, "Well, no, I don't guess." And I said, "But we have amazing freedoms that you don't realize. You don't." And I'll tell you something else too, and this is, and I'm kind of using this to maybe segue a little bit into law enforcement type talk, but I'll say this. I watched a video, and I don't even know how this popped up. Excuse me, but I watched a video yesterday of a French unit, which is gendarmerie, I believe is how they say it. But basically, it's a military force. It's like a branch of their military service, but they have police powers. So they actually police not only civilian communities, but they're a military police and a civilian police, but they're under the Department of Defense. And I was thinking, you know, this is a European nation. You know, this is not some third world, you know, country that's, you know, has really crazy, you know, socialist or communist type beliefs or whatever. This is a freedom loving country. And if you compare the way that they do things to the way that we do things, man, we are spoiled. You know, those guys are military units, full dressed out, decked out with, you know, submachine guns and stuff on their shoulders and stuff. And they're a complete military force that has power for police services over their own people in their own land. We can't do that here. We have to have our own civilian, you know, policing our communities. You know, so I don't think we realize how blessed and how free we really are, even compared to the rest of the world. You know, even our allies that we consider freedom. You know what I mean? We're so blessed. You know, and I hate to see anybody question that. And I hate to see anybody actually infringe on that because, oh, it drives me crazy because I don't want to give away an inch of it. Not an inch. You know, I want every bit we can have. And that's just, you know, that's something that actually kind of hit me yesterday. I was like, wow, look at where we're at, you know.
We've got them all complaining about the water.
That's water.
Some people are worried they might put them to sleep.
Yeah, I think we got some sound effects there from Scum Dogs in, don't we? I'm trying to fix this. I got this camera from my buddy Bits and Pieces, and I'm playing with it still running here.
Playing with the camera.
Yeah, I'm kind of learning what's going on here with it. So
that camera.
I want everybody to do me a favor.
Damn fountain won't go off.
I've never asked for this before, but I'm asking everybody here. I want to see what kind of numbers we can get on this stream tonight. And this is not about me. I just want to see how many people we can actually get united in here to hang out. I'm asking for everybody to share this video, share this link what you can on your own page, share it as many places as you can. Let's fill up this chat room. I want to have fun tonight. And it's not about, I don't care about my overall numbers. I just want to do this. I just want to see what we can actually get. And the reason I say that is because we're going to have fun. We're going to be laid back. We're going to kick it up and do some silly stuff or whatever, and that's perfectly fine. But you know what? I've never actually asked anybody, oh, make sure you get as many people as you can here, but I'm asking you tonight. Help me get this place filled up. Let's fill this chat room up. Because I'm sick and I'm doing this on a Sunday. That's the least you got to do for me, right?
From what I'm seeing, you have 35 in here now, so you're doing pretty good.
Absolutely. You know, we usually run, it seems like about 60 or 70 in at a time on a really good night. I've never hit 100. I've hit like in the 80s before, but I've never hit 100. I want to get 100.
What you need to do is put Chili's name in the title, and you'll have over 100 in here, I would say.
You know what's crazy is, you know, and everybody's like, oh, you should be happy for Chili. Man, that truck's loud enough, isn't it? Now, anybody was going to sleep, now from Scum Dogs with Water, I just woke you up with a hillbilly check
If there's a setting, it won't just. I'm trying to mess with the settings. It won't, for some reason, it won't go off. I don't know why.
It's okay.
You need a bigger hammer.
Oh, my little wife will kill me.
But anyway, that's my thing is I'd like to get some people in here tonight so we can have some good time and stuff. And we may even invite some other people up to shoot the breeze a little bit here and actually share the link or whatever. But here's where I want to go. I want to offer Derek to put me on the spot and put Terry on the spot, and we'll go get Scumdog too because he wanted to come up. So now he's got to give us an opinion.
Sure.
And let's watch this video that Derek got for us, if you can, Derek. And let's get this started and see what kind of breakdown we can do on this stuff. So you guys have asked me before to give you a police perspective of things. You guys have asked me before to tell you what I think about auditors and frauditors and so on and so forth. So here you go. Here's my live stream. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to let Derek set this up because I know nothing. So Derek's going to have to give us a little bit of background of what's going on here because I don't know.
Okay, so this video, this is technically not a police audit. So what this is an auditor going into a Walmart to audits, which
So he's making sure that he's protecting our First Amendment at Walmart. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. He's watching for those falling prices.
There is some language in this. It gets a little rowdy, but I thought this was funny. It's about, I don't know, about 8 minutes long, but I figured we kind of take a look at it and see what you guys think. And it'd be kind of interesting to get, an auditor's perspective and cops' perspective and, just some normal dude perspective, just to see what you guys think. So let's get it started here. And guys, let me know in the in chat if you can hear this okay. Again, there is some language in this. I'm not going to say it's all sunshine and rainbows, but there's a little bit of content in here that, if you're offended. But here we go.
Oh, I've seen this one.
Right, Nashville audits. We were at Walmart today to try to find the manager to complain. You pay me? Yes, sir. Why you pay me?
So immediately going in, like he's looking for trouble. He's going to go complain to the guy, but he has a reason behind doing this. But Scumdogs, you said you've seen this before, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Who is this guy, by the way?
Let's see his name.
I think he sounds like a tryhard, like he's trying to be like the other auditors. That's just my perspective, but I'm not going to give it
a hard ass. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he's a edgelord. They call him Nashville Audits, and
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. We'll kind of go into it and stop to find something crazy. So here we go.
Well, I'm here to complain. I got assaulted yesterday. A fucking guy threw me out of here physically for filming. I'm here to complain about it.
Well, go ahead and complain.
I want to talk customer service, but y'all got a line ahead of me, so
instead of
quiet filming yourself. Hey man, can you call me a manager, a store manager?
Yeah, you're a manager.
I actually don't work here, man. I work outside.
Oh,
Yeah.
on this property?
Yeah.
Well, that's the guy I want to complain about. It's the asshole that was working here yesterday, not you. You didn't do
I had the day off.
right. It wasn't you. It's a black man. I don't know his name. All right, where do I find the manager?
Was it outside? Was it?
No, it was standing right here. I was leaning up against customer service, and he pushed me physically out the doors.
After he told you to leave, I'm sure.
4 or 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon.
I don't know. Maybe you were asked to leave.
I was sitting over there on the little thing, where there's no, on the empty shelf, right? And I was waiting on my daughter, and I was filming.
Shorty's not fighting.
Little girl standing here watching people coming through the self checkout.
Yeah.
She said she didn't want to be filmed, so I stood up and told her, "Look, Walmart's a public place. You working here?
Private opening.
Actually, it's private property.
Actually, they get hundreds of millions of dollars yes, they do.
Not posted outside private property, man. It ain't gonna change for you though.
No,
It ain't gonna change for you.
Have you ever heard?
It's posted, man.
You're a stupid motherfucker if you believe that way.
Get your way? Leave, sir. Leave, sir.
Absolutely. Please go.
Free speech,
You are
dude.
not here to shot. Leave, sir.
I'm here to find a manager. You gonna find me a manager?
No,
I told you
no
that
one's
from the
gonna find
beginning.
you one, all right?
Okay, asshole. Okay, asshole.
You don't like being talked to like that? Go find your safe space, buddy.
I got a safe place. Government pays for this to be a safe place, you stupid ass.
What?
What is he even talking about?
I don't know.
It's private.
It's a private property. It's private, open to the public, which means they obviously entertain through a business license. They entertain patrons. That's what that means. That they're not questioning who can come in is basically, but it's still private property. They can tell you to go take a hike. It's private property.
I think what this guy is inferring is that the government does give subsidies to like these bigger corporations, and what he's going through his mind is, oh well, since the government gives you money, then I can film in here for reasons.
It doesn't work that way.
Then you have to let me run around and do whatever the hell I want because you get government funding. Is that what he's saying?
That's pretty much what he's thinking here.
So does that mean that anybody that gets government assistance, if they get a welfare check, that means you can go to their house and film?
I mean, this guy's logic, yeah.
Okay.
Private property is private property, whether it's mine or Walmart's.
That's what I thought. Now, these poor people that are sitting there that don't bother anybody, they're just wanting to go in there and get their groceries or whatever. And this guy's coming in there and automatically he gets an attitude.
Like I know whenever I go to a Walmart, I really don't want to be at Walmart. So and there's going to be like 100 people exactly like me. It's like, fuck, I don't want to go to Walmart. So you're already in a pissed off mood. Then you run into that kind of bullshit. Like,
well, and not only that, but real fast, you'll just hold it for a minute. Terry, tell everybody why this is not a real audit.
Why this is not a real audit? Well, first of all, the biggest problem that I have here is this is private property. For anybody that doesn't understand private property, I suggest you get your dictionary and look that up. Walmart is a private business. I don't give a rat's ass who gives them money, whether it's the government, me, you, or Jim Bob. It's all the same. They are a private business. It is private property, and they have the right to tell you to go fly a kite. They do not have to sell you those bananas laying there if they don't want to. That's completely up to them. It's not up to the quote-unquote auditor.
Absolutely. Keep in mind that
not to mention, I really don't fear my First Amendment being not allowed at Walmart so much because I've been in there and said all kinds of things at Walmart and I've never had a problem with it. So
you're not worried about the greeter at Walmart, that poor guy that's probably already worked 40 years somewhere and retired to go back because he can't afford health insurance. And he's sitting there trying to be a greeter and trying to earn a living for his family. You're not worried about him taking your constitutional rights, Terry?
I don't think he's the biggest tyrant of the bunch. I just don't think so.
And let me clarify.
Now again, that has nothing to do with whether or not I like Walmart or not. That's a whole nother ball of wax. But they are in business, and it is their business.
Absolutely. And where I was going with this was you kind of hit it right off the bat is the reason why auditors and correct me if I'm wrong, and anybody in the chat correct me if I'm wrong, but the reason why auditors do what they do in theory, unless they're just trying to get views, if they're really trying to make a change, they make a change and they audit public officials. They're auditing governmental buildings, public buildings, government entities, police officers, elected officials, whatever it may be. And that's the whole idea behind it, or at least I thought. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that's what it was. But you mean to tell me that the local guy here down there at the Walmart that's actually, carrying out groceries from somebody or whatever he's doing is not being audited? You're just being an asshole.
Exactly.
That's it.
But I've been seeing a lot of these. So, you got the First Amendment auditors, but you got a certain different classes of them. Some of them are going after like McDonald's or some restaurant or some
or a local church.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, I have to address this from Navy Girl.
Or going to a Walgreens.
I could not agree with you more, Navy Girl. The word tyrant and tyranny is used way too much, because I can tell you this: if you really want to know what a tyrant or tyrancy is, go look at some of these third world countries. And I heard somebody say it on the stream last night. Go to North Korea. That's a tyrant. We may have assholes, and we may have people that are failures in what they do. But to compare a tyrant to somebody that's actually working at Walmart or whatever, that's crazy.
Or if you really want to see a midget tyrant, just go on Delete Law's page.
See, Derek, I wasn't gonna do it.
Hey, I'm trying to keep it. It's his birthday. It's his birthday. It's that birthday.
Hey, You might offend him with that word. You might have to change that to dwarf for a little person. I'm not sure how he feels about that.
We got Tina Slay and Doc Danger. We got some of the normal faces in here tonight. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to pop in on the chat. Terry and I are both kind of more interested in this moron here. So we're watching a Walmart falling prices audit. Man, I wish we could put that on there. We have to comment on this guy's stuff in a little bit. Like, oh, you were auditing falling prices, man. That little yellow guy on the commercials.
So, Chad, Kevin K says, as a cop, what would you do if someone gave you a trifold?
Oh man.
Well, we had one at the PD. We kind of put it up to laugh at, to be honest. It's there a lot. I'm not going to say. Let me just say this: most of the stuff that's in there is not relevant to what he's actually talking about. He misuses the case laws for what they were actually intended for, and I'm not going to get into that tonight because that's a different thing. But I'd be happy to take your trial, but it doesn't change the fact that I still need your license, registration, insurance. If I stop you for a reason and you're driving, and I'm going to need your license, registration, insurance. And if you don't provide them to me and you want to be that way and whatever, then we'll take the necessary steps to move on. But once again, I'm all about freedom. So if you show me
I thought once you were trifolded, it was done. I thought that's as far as you could go.
I'm not going to lie. When it hits
I seen that in a chili video once.
Yeah, when it hits you, you're going to be down for a little while. That trifold it's indestructible. They actually use that in the testing of nuclear weapons and to no avail. I wish the other delete laws was in the chat tonight because he can really, really, really break it down for us.
Yeah, he can.
That's what they put on the bottom of the space shuttle, isn't it? The black trifolds to keep the heat down.
Well, I bet you guys didn't know this, but it actually will pay your taxes for you too.
Oh shit!
It actually does it. You don't even have to. If you have one, it just automatically does your taxes and pays them and everything. It's crazy.
That's funny. You
like
say
having a pocket-sized H&R block, huh?
Yeah. My brother called me the other day. He said, "Hey, I accidentally opened up your mail." I was like, "Oh," and he said, "It's from the IRS." I'm like, "Oh," and you owe $53. I'm like, "What? Why do I owe the IRS $53?" So I'm going to have to get the trifold and send it to the IRS.
If you had already had it, if you would have bought the one that you have to actually pay for that's indestructible, it would have already taken care of that for you.
So I missed out.
Yeah, that's your fault. That's your fault. I know who's.
I can get you a paper copy. I do not have the indestructibles, but if you need a paper copy, I definitely have one.
That doesn't do it, Terry. You have to get the indestructible one.
You mean we can't just take that down to Staples and get it laminated? It won't work.
No, those are top secret. That is actually made of a chemical compound.
Space age plastic.
It's off one of the moons of Jupiter. I don't even know where it's. I mean, it's crazy.
Wait, is it? Well, I think Jupiter's a gas planet. So.
Oh, well, maybe I said moon.
I mean, I think I could be wrong. I know I'm pretty sure it's a gas giant.
You can tell Chad's not the astronomer among us here, is he?
But leave it to Derek to correct me.
I'm sorry, I'm a nerd.
All right, so let's keep going, Derek. I want to see this guy.
All right. There we go.
More people here trying to get their stuff get out.
Would you call me a manager, please?
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
You're a manager.
Huh? Sure.
We broke 50 in the chat. We're getting there. Keep climbing, guys. I want to set some records tonight. I don't know. I'm just feeling ambitious.
Pay attention to Vern Troyer in the hat.
By the way, we're almost 200.
Well, this lady's helping me, so that's cool.
2,000 on the Bits channel.
Really? How far away from 2,000?
200.
Oh, guys,
I need a manager. I was assaulted here yesterday.
Oh God.
Thank you, ma'am.
What an idiot.
This gets pretty cringy.
Oh, I bet.
Sure. I'll stand here if that's cool.
Yep. We're thrilled to have you.
You can tell she was really thrilled to see him.
Mm-hmm.
But you keep an eye on the little guy right there.
In the
Yeah,
hat.
that's what I did.
Yeah, just yeah.
He kind of looks like Whisk.
But I was assaulted yesterday, and it's legal to film in Walmart. And I came in here yesterday and was assaulted by one of the security, and now I'm going to complain about it. Well, somebody already checked in the office and said somebody's coming. I'll just report it to Walmart headquarters. That's fine by me.
Why didn't you just report it to the police?
Yeah, I know. Hell no, I don't have interactions with people when I'm doing a complaint without documented evidence. I'll do it online, but thank you, ma'am. I just thought I could handle it in-house, but if they don't want to, I'll go over his head or her head or whoever's and take care of it that way.
Tina, that's exactly what I was just thinking. Waited an entire day to complain. Well, you had to make sure.
Can I get the manager's name?
Yeah, Billy Bot.
Billy what?
Bot.
Can you spell that for me?
You can't spell Billy?
Billy, I
Why
know.
you shop at Walmart, man?
Fucking asshole motherfucker. I know how to spell Billy. I'm not fucking stupid. I didn't understand what he said.
Now, don't jump ahead of yourself. We still think you're stupid.
You're going to be a YouTube star, you dumbass.
I already am, man. They
Well,
don't
you are.
Okay, sure. All right, sure, man, no problem. Hey, that's okay. I don't mind cussing.
Come back. Please come back.
Oh, I'll come back.
Can you leave? No, sir. Your nightmare?
Hey, you know what
Who's this guy? The little guy in the hat?
Hey,
Yeah.
all we hear out of your mouth is this, fuckhead.
What the hell does he have?
A little toy squeaker pig.
Really? You're gonna assault a police officer right in front of me? You stupid shit, kid.
A lot of police
You're on
officers.
a million cameras. Don't be that dumb, man. You gotta hit the officer again. You gotta hit the officer again?
The guy's pushing him.
I told him to leave.
Yes, sir, you did.
Yeah, you did. You're sitting in here cussing, and you just put your hands on me.
And you put your hands on me first, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, to leave.
Hey, bro, you tripping.
Please.
It's not tripping.
Yeah,
Hey,
You tripping, homie, man, bro. You tripping, homie. Come on, bro. I'm with the shit, homie.
I'm not fucking lucky.
Yeah, go. Shit. Get your ass up out of here, fam.
Shut the fuck up.
Get out of here.
Man, what's up, bro? I'm with the shit, homie. What the fuck
Leave.
you want to do, dog? Fuck off, leave. Hey, bro, fuck up, nigga.
Leave, motherfucker.
Man,
That's
Oh, shit. Oh, look what just happened in a fight, sir. I'm sorry.
that was it.
Those are your choices. Pick her out.
all right.
Oh my
Oh.
God. What a moron. Well,
I-
you know, I'll be honest. My take on that is obviously they went in there to start trouble. There's no doubt about that. So we don't have to wonder about that.
Thank God we've got someone like this looking out for our rights, huh?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that was a security guard. I don't think that was actually a policeman.
So apparently, no, he wasn't a police officer. He was a security guard.
Yeah, because who had arrested him immediately?
I saw the video of the day before where he was complaining about.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, and my take is too is, I mean, first of all, I mean, obviously, you know, I'll just tell you this: if somebody smacks me in the face, I can promise you when they wake up, they're going to jail. But if somebody punches me in the face like that and acts like that, I'm gonna knock them the fuck out. So I don't
Yeah.
know. That security guard was a lot more restrained than I probably would have been, to be honest.
Trying to find the previous video of the Walmart.
The guy just seems like a tryhard. Like he's like,
Oh, you could tell.
these guys can make money off of YouTube just by pissing people off. I can do that too.
But he didn't do enough research to realize that the guys that are actually doing that are actually going to like public places and not Walmart. So Sorry, buddy, you done that wrong, numbnuts.
Did anyone see? There's this guy. He kind of looks like Harry Potter, but he Annapolis audits. I think he like went into a Walgreens and started auditing the Walgreens only because a CO was going in there to buy, you know, girly things, and he like was filming her doing it, and then was filming her all the way out, and making fun of her for buying the stuff. Guys like that need to be worked over real good. Need to have their freaking ass whipped, like hard ass whipped, like.
Well, I've got a theory behind some of these guys. First of all, in my opinion, some of these guys were lunch money victims in school. They're obviously, somebody's picked on them somewhere, and they feel like they have to take it out on somebody else. Because you're going around looking for trouble like that, and you're just trying to prove that you're a big man about something. It's stupid. But obviously they've never been adjusted either, and I'll say that as as lighthearted as I can. But there's ways to fix guys like that are a little bit more hillbilly style, if that makes sense. So, but that's just my opinion.
I think it's funny that
I'll give you a little bit easier way. If I'm sorry, go ahead,
Terry. Go ahead.
No,
Terry.
go ahead. Go ahead, Terry.
I was just going to say, if you want the flip side of that, in my opinion, if you want to put the auditors out of business, people like me, well, not people like me because I don't do it like them, but if you want to put them out of business, stop reacting. When you see them with a camera, don't run up to it and react. Why would you do it? Everybody there's got a camera in their hands. You do too. You don't know that there ain't 90% of people filming you anyway, no matter where you go or what you do. Damn, look at the traffic cams, security cams, not to mention everybody has a camera in their pocket. It is my best advice that when you walk out of your front door every day, you assume that as soon as you are out in your front yard, that you are on camera from that time until you get back into your own home. Just assume that you're on camera, and don't allow yourself to become offended by it, and definitely don't create a scene, or you're just going to play right into their fun.
Yep.
Yeah, I do feel like some of the auditors, their main goal is to create this scene, even though they're saying, "Hey, I'm not," but the way they interact, and not all of them. I mean, some of them, not all of them. But
they're getting paid for that interaction is what it is. They're actually getting paid on that interaction, how much of an asshole they are and how much of an asshole they can draw out of the next person,
Yeah. And it's pretty crazy. Like, they'll act all big and stuff towards an officer. The officer's not going to be able to do anything unless that person does something that, well, you can get arrested for. But most of them, they kind of hang on that line there, just like try to push it a little bit, but they don't go past it. But the ones that do, they get arrested and like, why would you arrest me? Like, no shit, dude. You just fucking did that.
Oh yeah. Like there's some funny stuff too. Like there was one of Chili's trolls that was in one of my comments, and he was like, only thing Chili does is goes around and sues people for violating his rights. And I'm going, he's literally not done that. I mean,
actually, all he does is go around and file lawsuits. He doesn't actually officially sue anyone. He just runs around the country filing lawsuits and costing a bunch of money to his viewers.
Well, has he sued anybody who's actually violated civil rights? Because I mean, I know he tried to file file against IPD, but that was blatantly not a violation of civil rights.
Crazy. Well, he's claimed a lot of violations.
Oh well, yeah. You can claim whatever you want to, but reality kind of changes the pace of that.
Well, he said the other day he's going to sue every motherfucker that's making videos about. I was like, wow, okay. He said he's even going to go overseas to. Now I'm assuming the Frog and Irish Demon. He's going to go after those guys. Like, but yeah, it was
good luck.
It was a pretty good stream.
Unfortunately, the truth cannot be construed as defamation, can it?
No.
Well, generally speaking, you have to prove that it cost you some type of money too.
And here's the thing on my videos personally, and he can go back and watch every fucking video I've ever made about him. Every single video, I make it known that hey, and I'll say it a couple times in the video. I'll be like, "This is just my opinion. I can't approve these things. I just can't." But you know, I'll do that a couple times. I mean, I'm never saying these are facts. I mean, you get what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're facts, but they are. But it's just my opinion. So that's my loophole.
Well, and yeah, and that's the thing too. Is I mean, I, I don't have a problem at all with auditors or cop watchers. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. Um, but I have a problem with assholes. And one of the shirts that we were actually having made up for the fight was like, and it was kind of being silly, but it was still, having kind of some fun with it too. And it says the First Amendment gives you the freedom of free speech, but it doesn't keep you from the consequences. And that's about the most reality that I've ever heard in my life. Because you're right, our government says that we have the right to free speech, but the individual you're talking about still very likely to beat the piss out of you, jack stupid. And I'm not talking about police. I'm talking about in general. If you're an asshole, you got the right to be an asshole, but it doesn't prevent the consequences of such. If you do something stupid, and somebody knocks the
Doesn't
hell out of
prevent the other person from being an asshole back, does it?
you. I mean, and that's just it. You got to use your head.
I got a question.
Sure.
I've seen a lot of.
Hang on a second, Scumdog. Let me address this real fast. Hold your thought. Let me ask you something, Miss State. Do you think that I'm an asshole, or that I'll take people's property or money? I want you to give me an honest opinion. I really want to hear that. Because I think over the past, how many months have I been doing this stuff now? Since what, May probably? I think I've shown everybody who I am by now. And I don't steal people's property, and I don't take their money, and I'm a captain of police. So I'm actually somebody that's actually a supervisor, and I don't do any of that stuff, right?
So I'll tell you this. So before we got started on this stuff, um, I used to be afraid of the cops. I never had. Well, I mean, there for a while I was smoking pot all the time, and I was paranoid because hey, you smoke pot, it's not legal. There's a thing. So I've always been paranoid, but I've never had. I was always afraid of cops because I was like, oh, well, I'm going to get caught because I'm breaking the law. I knew that I was breaking the law, but meeting you and everything and all this, like what we've been talking about, and like it's made me like look at it way different. Like I'm not afraid of the cops. I actually like the cops, and I'm not afraid to say, hey, there's bad cops. There's good cops and there's bad cops, but there's good and bad in any type of occupation you see. I'm saying right now, like the way the police are portrayed in the media, that makes it look bad for 99% of the cops that are good cops. I mean, and that's just the way it is right now. The stereotype is that all cops are bad, and I don't think
The
that's
state
the
did
case.
answer your question, sir.
Okay. I'm sorry, I missed it.
Oh shit! I'm so sorry, dude.
Sure, absolutely.
It's right underneath that one.
This one. I'm just curious. I'd like to have an example. I'm really not being a smart aleck. I'm generally asking what you mean.
And then right under that, he's saying just because you're not doing it now does not mean that you haven't done it before.
Okay. I'd like to, I mean, honestly, just for the sake of it, I'd just like to have clarification because I don't know really what he means. I mean, I'm assuming maybe talking about like impounding a car or something, maybe. I don't know. But to clarify, we
I
do
don't know.
understand.
I do have a question about certain things that certain fines and things that are given out. I guess my biggest question is, do writing people speeding fines make the highway safer or slow people down? If not, then obviously that is one of those policing for profit type things, and it is for nothing but money, since it doesn't make them safer and it doesn't slow people down. Now, that is a
Sure.
personal opinion from an auditor, but it's things like that. Those are the things that I think that Mitten State might be speaking about.
Well,
I,
allow me to clarify. First of all, the police department doesn't get that money, at least not for us. I want you guys to understand that. That's we get like the anytime that there's fines and stuff written, it really has very little effect on the PD. It goes to courts in the state. We don't get that money. And as far as a lot of the stuff, it actually goes into like a tax fund and stuff. Like the highway patrol, I think there for a while, a lot of the taxes that went on like gas at the pump went back into the public safety on like for roadways or different things like that. And I think that's kind of where it comes from. I don't know that specifically, but there is a lot of it that actually goes back into public safety and stuff like that. So and you got to keep in mind there has to be something. Because if we didn't regulate that at all, we would have chaos and we would have people getting hurt needlessly. So there has to be an
Don't we?
answer.
Don't we anyway?
Meaning
Don't we anyway
what that
have
we have.
people getting hurt in chaos at times? I mean,
Well, certainly, but I'll give you an example, and that's where I was going with this. When I very first started in IPD, the very first year, 2008, we had 770 some crashes in the city. In the city, Terry, you know how big the city is. Okay, 770
yes.
in that year in 2008. We started a traffic enforcement campaign specifically to target people running stop signs and red lights and such. That type of stuff. That's what we were focusing on. The next year we had like 390, I think, or something like that. So by all means, yes, it's effective. It could potentially save somebody's life. I don't always write tickets. Matter of fact, I generally don't write tickets. Simply because I just that's not really my thing. A lot of times I'll just stop people and kind of give them a warning, and if I can get the same effect, but a lot of times if I stop the same person for the same thing, and I recognize them or whatever, then yeah, there might be a chance that they're going to get a ticket. I don't know. It just kind of depends. But if I can stop
Hey,
somebody
just for
from
the laugh, sir. Just for the laugh and a quick change of topic there, Tom Robertson says there's a guy who prank farts that gets more views than all the cop watchers combined. Hell, maybe we're in the wrong YouTube business.
you know what, we may have to look into that. I don't know.
Gonna have to get us some fart machines and some gimbals, man.
There was
Absolutely.
a video series like these guys would go. It's kind of like Jackass, but it was all like they'd go out in public and they'd kick each other in the dick. Like they'll have somebody standing in a crowd of people, and this guy would just run in, kick the guy in the dick, and runs away. And then it like just to get all
Hello,
the
Lisa. By the way, sorry.
but yeah, I mean, those guys literally got paid for kicking each other in the dick, like an announcer's Phil, like writing in ads.
Screw that. I don't want views that much. I like you guys, but not that
You'd
much.
have to pay me double if I was the one getting kicked.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do, Terry. Since you volunteered, I heard Terry volunteer. Did you hear it, Ben?
I heard it.
Okay, and here's what we're gonna do. If we can get 100 people in this chat, Terry says he's gonna let all of us kick him in the nuts. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. I'm kidding. I wouldn't want to kick Terry in the nuts. I like
yeah.
Well,
way.
shit,
Not me.
it ain't like you'd have to raise your leg very far.
Well, that's true. I mean, but I do have a bad leg, so I don't know if I can get you anyway. Most people in the chat don't know the difference in what is a violation, what is a crime.
I have a heart. Even if you wanted me to do it, I wouldn't do it. Now, if you're a rights on, all bets are off. I'm doing it. Sorry, I had to squeeze that in.
Oh yeah, who is this guy anyway? He taking a few shots at me, and I don't know why.
I just don't get me started on him, please.
I don't know why he
get me
doesn't like
started
me
on him.
because like 1 minute he's in my chat and he's kind of like bragging on me. Next minute he's taking shots at me. I don't know why. I mean, I really don't know. I really don't know what I've done as a professional to make anybody think that I need to be like hammered on, because I don't think I've done anything that bad. But even as my YouTube channel, I try to always maintain a pretty positive attitude. I still have people don't like me, so I don't really know why. But nevertheless, I still like all you guys. So I think most people in the chat don't know the difference in what a violation is and a crime. In Ohio, the violations are minor misdemeanors, so it's still technically a crime. Oh man, did you watch the other day when Uncle Artie done it?
I watched him and he didn't. Nothing happened.
Johnny, can you post it again, buddy? I don't even know where it's at in the chat. I'm sorry.
I didn't. Did it hurt him? Did it hurt him?
No, you can't. First of all, okay, you have to have some kind of nerve endings or brain cells to be able to hurt him. And look, Uncle Artie's not gonna pull that off. Okay. And you guys know I'm playing. I love Uncle Artie. He's been a very, very big supporter of me, and he's been wonderful. And he is always welcome. Well, Flat Derp had to actually take his goldfish a walk, so that's good that he's back from that.
I'm going to go grab me a drink.
Okay.
Really
well,
Mr. Fortwitch.
Mr.
Right Fortwitch says he has an unrelated question for you, sir.
I'll try my best. Shoot me with it. Don't literally shoot me, please. I've been through too much. I don't need to get shot.
What's your question, Mr. Fortwitch?
No, first of all, I want to clarify too. I don't think Mitten State is a chili guy. I've had him. He's been on my channel enough to know that I don't think that about him. So I think you guys are probably wrong about him.
I agree with you there, sir. I know Mitten State. I've seen him in the chat a lot as well.
He's been very, very respectful every time I've ever talked to him. I have no problem with him whatsoever. He and I don't have to agree on things for both of us to love freedom. That's the beauty of freedom, right? Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. Did we ever get my question? Educator is a peace officer. Hang on, I'm gonna read Johnny's real fast. Not law enforcement. That is why you are a captain. Yeah, I know what you're getting at with that. Absolutely. By definition, we actually get my certification is actually a peace officer certification in Ohio. That's what we have. In Ohio, we have peace officers and then we have troopers. And the troopers in Ohio are not actually peace officers. They're just public safety officers. That's why we have a highway patrol and not actually a state police. And there's a difference in that. For instance, in Ohio, peace officers have full peace officer power, police power, so to speak. And in the highway patrol only has police officer power on public state-owned properties, meaning that in your front porch, they have no jurisdiction whatsoever.
Mr. Fortwitch was asking if you fished the pond that was in your short.
Which one? I don't remember. Did I fish the pond that was in my short video? I don't remember. Yes, VW Star Troopers are state highway patrol. I don't know. I don't remember a pond. I mean, guys, you know how I am. I don't remember what I done 5 minutes ago. I don't know. Oh, you mean, are you talking about the big lake that I run around? It's not a big lake, but I mean, yeah, I fish that one all the time. Yeah, I've actually caught some pretty decent bass in that pond. I've caught a 5-pounder out of there.
You wouldn't exaggerate just a pound or two, would you?
Well, I would. But for the record, I actually did have, did you see those, the Realtree company actually had a little kit that you could buy. It was like a fishing kit, and it come with the little extended pliers and such, you know what I mean? Like the ones that get the hook out, the big long ones. And it came with right. A set of scales and everything, and it had like a little knife, and you wear it all on your side or whatever. And my wife had actually just found that in the clearance aisle at Walmart. So I actually did have a set of scales. So I actually was able to actually weigh the fish. So I got some defense on that one.
Well, that is if they're actually accurate. I've seen a lot of scales and a lot of people weigh a lot of things.
That's true. I have to give you that. I can't say for sure. I didn't have them calibrated. So
now understand, I'm not calling you a liar. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that fishing stories are a lot like deer hunter stories. Every year you hear all of these, these impossible stories of the deer hunt.
Oh yeah. You know what? I've got it. You just opened the door, right? I'm gonna tell a story about my deer hunt. Let me tell you guys this, and this is true as God be my witness. The very first time I ever got to hunt in the state of Ohio, years back, I grew up in West Virginia, and there's a long story behind that too, and I'd already kind of shared with Terry a little bit or whatever, and the guys before, but basically I married a girl young, and we ended up moving to Ohio, and that's kind of the way that went. Whatever, because it's all in a little tri-state area right here. Well, when I moved over there and I got my Ohio hunting license, I went to hunt a farm in the area here. And everybody told me all the time, like, oh my gosh, you wait till you see how big the bucks are in Ohio and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, they're deer. You know what I mean? It's always going to be the same. So anyway, and yeah, I may have rounded up a little bit, Butch, yeah. But anyway, so I went to this farm completely unknown, Terry. Okay. I went to this farm and I didn't even scout this farm. I actually went, and my real intentions was, because I got permission late, was to go and kind of scout it out, not really hunt, but just kind of just creep around on the farm a little bit and look around. So I had my bow and everything with me, but I wasn't actually really planning on hunting. Well, he told me to go in this one stand that they'd been using or whatever. And I get around there, and this was a homemade stand, and I didn't trust it. It was just looked like it was pretty rough. So I was like, you know what? I ain't going to worry about it. I'm out of here, right? So I leave, and I start walking back around just kind of looking. And there's this big old long field. And Terry, just so you know, it's out Greasy Ridge area. Just to kind of put it in perspective for you. Excuse me. And
I know where you're at.
And I'm out there and I'm looking, and I could see way down this field. And I seen some does way out in the end of the field. Well, there was this little cedar thicket just off to the left of like the trail that I was walking, and it was kind of like an umbrella the way the cedar tree was. So I just kind of like slipped up underneath there. Just I was going to kind of watch them. I mean, I really wasn't planning. So I've never seen this before up until this day, but I could hear two racks clashing. And I was like, is that deer fighting? You know, because I'd never seen that before, ever, right? So next thing I know, there comes this buck, and he's kind of running. He's kind of jogging my way, and he was by far a shooter. I mean, this was a good deer. I mean, he was probably good, 16, 17 inches wide. Good shooter buck, right? Let me get Scumdog back up here. I think he fell out too. So anyway, so I'm under the impression thinking, wow, man, I hope he comes down here, man, because I'll shoot him in a heartbeat. But it kind of hit me. I was like, what the heck is he running from? I was thinking, this ain't good. That's got to be something good down there, right? So he jumps over the hill before he ever got within bow range of me. He stayed probably 75 yards away from me. I couldn't have got a shot at him anyway. So as he's kind of running off, or he kind of left. Is that the hot one?
That's the hot one.
Oh, are you gonna do it tonight?
I'm gonna do it right now.
All right. Well, hang on. Just hold it just for a minute. Let me come on nonsense. So anyway, so this deer, this doe, comes down to where I'm at there and like jumps over the hill, but come down there within like 25 yards of me, Terry. Like, I mean, I could have easily shot her, but I was thinking, please, Lord, let one of these bucks, because there were several deer out in the field. Well, next thing I know, there he comes. And I mean, this deer, it was like out of a TV show. He was shaking his head and stuff as he was walking, and he stopped and he was working a scrape and a licking branch and stuff, like you watch on like hunting shows. And I was going, oh my God. I mean, he's like mega giant, right? He comes all the way down there to me, right down there where that doe came, because he was following her. He turns and he's just a little bit quartering away from me. Draw back, boom. I let it go. Smoked him, bud. Smoked him. I was like, oh my God. I was so scared, Terry. I dropped my bow. I literally dropped my bow. I tracked that deer for 2 days. 2 days. I found a coffee can size blood pile. I kid you not. It was that much blood that deer lost. And you could tell where he'd laid down, you know what I mean, kicking and stuff. And I never did find him. And I get a call in December during shotgun season. And I get a call from my buddy, and he goes, hey, I found your deer. I said, you did? And he says, yeah. And I was like, well, yeah, at least I'll get his horns. You know what I mean? Like, I was at least wanting that much, right? And he goes, well, he said, another buddy of mine found him with a shotgun. I said, what? And he goes, yeah, he didn't. He said, but you got to see this. And I said, okay. So he shows me this healed up wound, and it was kind of mangled looking a little bit, but it was, you could see where he had a wound. And I couldn't have placed that shot better. I have no idea how I didn't kill that deer. I don't know. Because quartering away, I was just a little bit back behind. And let me tell you this crazy thing. The exit wound was right behind the opposite shoulder. It couldn't have been placed any better. I don't know what I missed. I don't know. But this deer was massive. He had drop tines and everything on him. I've never to this day again seen a deer that big in my life. And I'm going, wow, I'll never have that opportunity again. And I literally had to watch him run off and somebody else shoot him. So I was like, you know what, go figure. And I'm like, ever since then, I've lost interest. I mean, I've hunted since then, but it's kind of like, how am I ever going to top that, right? Because that was like a once in a lifetime buck, and I shoot him perfect and he doesn't die. My luck. So I don't know.
NZ
I'm
Kiwi
sorry.
had a question for you, Educator. It said, while on duty, has there ever been a situation that you've turned up to that made you cry laughing?
By laughing? Yeah,
Besides the
probably.
chili.
Yeah, I guess something that made you laugh till you cry.
Yeah, probably. I've seen some silly things before. Yeah. I've seen a lot of silly things that involve my young officers who just do dumbass things that I can't help but laugh at. And then I've seen, stuff that, silly people doing silly things, whatever. But yeah, I've seen that kind of stuff.
The NC Kiwi, can we full screen bits when he's doing it? Can you do that?
Well, before you do that, I want to respond to Mitten State there. Said he hopes that everybody has a good night, and just because we don't all agree on what people call law doesn't mean that he doesn't like freedom. And I'll stick up for Mitten State. He's not like that.
Me too, buddy. Absolutely. And once again, that's what I said before. He's always been very respectful to me, and I have no problem with the fact that he disagrees with me. He and I both agree and share freedom, and I think that's beautiful. So he can disagree with me, and I can disagree with him. We can still be friends.
Oh, you guys got me up there.
Oh, they wanted you full screen, baby. Let's do it. Hey, listen. Now wait a minute. Now hang on a second. I want to make a whole deal out of this. Okay, we're going to start a timer. Okay, and I want to see how long before you have to take a drink of milk.
It says, can you go a full 5 minutes without relief?
Wow. That means anything.
So it says, fully chew this fiery bear and see if you can handle the heat. 9 million Scovilles, and this thing's looks like it's got a little dick on it.
Oh. Okay, now hang on. First of all, Mrs. Bits, do you know he's doing this? Is that your missus behind you there?
No.
Okay, I just seen somebody in the background there. Okay, so we know what's going on here, right? Okay, so you're getting ready to take this, and you got to chew it now. That's part of the stipulation, right?
Do I have to swallow the damn thing?
Well, hell yes, that's the whole thing. You're the one that started this. I didn't bring this up. You did.
All right.
Everybody watching. Put a 1 in the chat right now if you think Bits is going to make it 5 minutes. Put a 2 if you think he's going to have to give. 1 in the chat if he's going to make it 5 minutes. 2 if he's going to have a drink of milk. Oh, it's hot.
I'm going to give him a 1. I think he's got it.
I think he's going to make it.
You can see it's miserable. Come on, Bits. Come on. Raise up a little bit. We can't see you. There you go. Yeah. Oh, my God. Did you swallow
We actually want to see the tears fall, man. Stay up there.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be tears.
Uh-oh.
Holy shit. All right, Bits, can you narrate this at all? Are you able to talk?
Fuck, it sucks.
Oh, okay.
Hey, now the next thing you have to do, you have to get pepper sprayed.
That's actually hotter than pepper spray.
I don't like it. Fuck.
Pepper sprayed and torture cuffed.
Come on, Bits. How bad is it, Bits?
Don't do it.
I is drawing.
Did anybody start a timer?
No, I actually didn't start a timer.
You didn't start your timer?
I would estimate probably 2 minutes have gone by.
I would say. How are you, sir?
Oh my God.
That bad?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Fuck me.
Holy shit, dude.
Dude, his lips are red.
Damn, son, he's making me sweat just watching him.
No shit.
Ooh. Damn. Oh my god.
Is your mouth? Oh man.
We got a bag.
Oh my god.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh my god, dude.
Dude, this sucks ass.
I guarantee it.
Oh my god, it fucking sucks.
Is it hurting? Is it hurting in your mouth or all the way down your
Everywhere.
I bet.
Now just wait till it comes out the other end. I bet it burns just as much.
My dude came in with a trash bag.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. Oh, see you guys. Where are you going to see this type of entertainment anywhere else?
I'm seeing stars. I'm seeing stars.
Drink some milk, bro. I think you've proved what you can do.
Did we get it in 5 minutes?
I think it's been close, hasn't it?
I'd say
we started like at 9:18. It's 9:21, so it's been like 3.5, 4 minutes.
Yeah, I think you've proven what you're going to prove, bro.
Yeah, hell, don't hurt yourself, man. You know, you can really cause some serious health problems that way. And you're young, so you'll have to live with it for a long time.
Holy shit.
I kind of feel bad now for like pushing him to it.
I didn't push him.
Just take something to drink.
Huh?
Did you just take something to drink?
Yeah, I can't do this. Fuck. I can't do this, dude. Holy shit. Fuck.
Man, that's brutal. I knew it was going to be bad. I told you, dude.
I didn't know that.
Am I wrong for laughing, guys? Put a 1 in the chat right now if you think that the educator's being wrong.
So where do you get these gummy bears?
I don't know. I think you get them out of Satan's ass crack. You notice that Terry's very
I don't know, but I'm wondering how many more he may eat on future lives now.
No more after that. I'm done. Fuck this. Oh, no way.
Is it worse than you thought?
It's worse than I thought. It's way worse.
Is that okay? Kevin's asking, was it worth it?
It was not. It wasn't worth it.
Effing lawyer says Ironton must have the most YouTubers per capita of anywhere in the damn country.
It wasn't worth it. Oh, dude.
Jake, how you walked into a bunch of grown men acting like children.
Okay.
And just think, this started as a reaction video. I told you guys we're morons. We're not grown. We're children.
It just keeps coming back. Why won't you just fucking leave?
It's like the chili bear.
So, hey, Derek, is it just like that full of cinnamon oil, or are they putting something else in there to make it hotter?
Oh, it's way hotter than that.
It's no cinnamon in it. It's like Satan's dick.
Oh, I'm so wrong right now.
You might want to eat you a couple pieces of bread, man, to help soak some of that up in your gut.
Are you serious, Miss Bits? Look at this.
It's not wrong.
Oh man.
Oh
It's
my
definitely not
God.
cinnamon.
For the record, I want to go on record saying we can rewind and watch that I did not tell him that I did not encourage this. I just said, "Are you going to?"
I blame chili.
I seriously think you need to. I agree with some of the people in the chat. You need to eat a couple pieces of bread to help soak some of that up, man. Or when it comes out the other end, you're going to hate it even worse.
Yeah,
Eat you some bread bits. Oh, he just
bread.
My wife just walked out here, guys. We'll get Mrs. Legend. You're going to have to do it again, Derek. She missed it.
I know.
He ate that gummy bear, and he's literally like puking.
Did you survive it?
No.
Oh, it's
Yeah, he made it like 3 minutes.
I'm out of milk.
You'll have to update us tomorrow, Derek, so we know how long this sticks with you.
Tom says eat beans. What do you mean? I don't know. That's new to me.
Like beans?
I don't know. I thought that
Dude, this sucks ass. Oh.
Look how wet his hair is. He's sweating. I'm sweating watching you, Derek.
That's what I said there earlier. It's making me sweat just watching him do it.
Dude, I've had hot shit, but I've never had anything that hot in my entire life.
I tried to tell you, dude.
Oh.
Did you swallow that thing or did you spit it out?
Oh, I swallowed.
Oh, you want a drink?
What is it? Is this?
It's alcohol.
Keith Kelly says you're going to need asbestos underwear.
No doubt. Effing lawyer says he watched Artie and Bits, and he's not going to do it. I'm with you, dude. I can't handle that hot shit like that.
I don't recommend it to anybody.
I want to do it.
Ever. Brian's want to do it now.
Okay.
Jamie's not gonna let me do it.
It sucks. It's going away now. It's going away now. That initial first couple of minutes, but like whenever I'm breathing right now, I can feel the heat. Like it's just there. But the first couple of minutes was so brutal. Like it is hell.
Hey, Cap, what is worse, OC spray or CS gas?
CS is let's see. OC is the actual pepper spray, I believe, and CS is mace, I believe. Mace is powder, so you can literally like blow mace off of you. Generally, they both suck ass.
That's too hot.
I believe I might have them backwards. I don't know for sure. One of them's mace more, and one of them's.
We'll get smoked and see if James can kick my ass if I do it.
One of them's also tear gas, Captain.
Tell me now.
It's hell. Like it's fucking stupid. Why did I fucking do that? Oh Jesus!
Did you hear that, Captain? Did you hear me there, Captain?
Did we lose him?
I see people in the chat saying it now that the OC that's tear gas is what that is. Is he still there? Can you hear me, Derek? Can anybody hear me? Did I get?
I can hear you. I had a
okay.
A
just
moment.
Making sure.
I think I had a little bit of a flux in my Wi-Fi or something there for a minute. You okay, Derek?
Yeah.
Did you hear what we were saying about the OC gas, Captain?
I don't think so. No.
The OC is tear gas, is what it is. It's military grade tear gas.
Okay, so I had it backwards, I guess. Oh my gosh, I feel sorry for you, dude.
It's honestly not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but like the first couple minutes is brutal. Like it is brutal. Like I'm still breathing and I can feel it, but those first couple of minutes is just God.
Crippled Cat says you'll have a ring of fire tomorrow.
I guarantee it.
I'll tell you what. Let's. Does anybody else have any videos that they want to do a reaction on while we're here? Since Bits presented one, Scundog, you got one you want to share, or Terry? We could do a breakdown of while we're at it.
Oh, I don't have one.
I don't have any ready for that. No.
I think the ones that I'm streaming from my phone, but the ones that I have, I think I'm pretty sure everyone has saw it before. So,
Mr. For Twitch, yes, absolutely, I experienced pepper.
I'm sorry, Captain. Logan was right. CS gas is tear gas. I apologize. He is correct.
Okay.
I don't have any. I have a brownie.
I misspoke
right
there.
here.
He is correct.
Eat the brownie.
We're all watching Derek like.
Eat the brownie.
Is he going?
My question is, if you have to eat bread to soak up the acid tomorrow, are you going to have to wipe with bread?
Probably.
Take some of the burn out.
I'm laughing with you, Derek. Oh yeah, you know what? Maybe we should all sing "Happy Birthday" to Chili. We'll let Scumdog do it. He can lead us all through.
Nah, I'm good.
Let's see here. Which one was bringing them all down there?
Why do you with these auditors? I mean, I've seen like all of us have seen hundreds of audit videos, and I would say the majority of these videos, police have probable cause to lock them up, but they don't. Is there? Do you think because they just don't want to deal with the, oh Jesus, just trespassing, and I want to lock them up for trespassing and write a report? Do you think it's because of that why they kind of really don't? They pick and choose their battles. Is that how? Is that That's the way
Yeah.
I'm getting.
Well, I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean probable cause? Like, give me an example of what you would think was probable cause.
I'm entering. Let's say I'm a First Amendment auditor, and entering in. I don't know, the state capitol, and they tell me to leave, and I say, no, I don't have to leave, and well, you can't be here, you can't go in here, and then you say, well, you leave, or we're going to trespass you, and I still do not leave, and because I see this all the time, they say we're going to trespass you, and they keep heckling them to a point to where the auditor's just like, no, 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 I'm not leaving, and then they continue on to do what they're doing. But they can be trespassed and they can be locked up, but the officer chooses not to do it.
Well, and once again, I want to clarify that every state is different, as far as laws. Trespass, yes, Kevin, you're right. My wife is beautiful, isn't she? But trespass laws are different in every state. But in Ohio, you have to be told, given a trespass notice, and so on. And it's such a low level crime, it's just simply not worth it. I mean, it's kind of one of those things that you're literally just taking up space in the jail for some moron. I mean, if you're a trespasser, I mean, generally speaking, you're more likely to probably get a citation.
Right. And
Yeah.
there is a story that I wanted to share because it was pretty much piggybacking on what Bitz was saying. When I was a young lad, I didn't hate the police, but I had a dislike for police, and
They're not.
and so what happened was I was in high school. I just got my license. I bought a Eagle Talon turbocharged, the whole 9 yards, and I was heavy into the car scene in the town that I lived in, and I thought it was a good idea to go ahead and do I guess a street race on a roll, and so I started doing it, and there's this traffic cop that patrols that area, and apparently this dude is a legend. And what I mean by legend, like literally, like he is probably the only officer in that whole in that department that pulled his own mother over and gave her a ticket.
Oh,
So the dude's a legend apparently, and he's a
yeah.
good traffic cop. Well, we start going, and I start hitting like I don't know, probably like I don't want to exaggerate too much, like 75, 80. I'm not really sure what the speed limit was, but he got me. And when he got behind me, the other guy just took off. And I'm like, I'm screwed because where I live, if you are caught street racing, you are pretty much, you're done. You're getting locked up in your car taken. So,
Hang on real fast. I'll address this before I forget it. Yes, good old boy, that is not true. You can be trespassed from a public building by all means, absolutely. You have to remember that
Well, you can be trespassed from a public building without committing a crime, but will it hold up is the question. I mean, I know a police officer can issue one and tell you to get the hell out, but it don't necessarily make it right or legal.
Well, what makes it legal is this: the 10th Amendment says that the power that's not given to the federal government is given to the people of the states. And what happens is, and I've said this before, is those people, every citizen, can't be there to ask, what do you think? 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 We can't go through that with 67,000 people in the county. So what we do is we elect officials that are our stewards over the public things. Hence, the mayor being the chief executive officer of the city. and he sets rules for when things are open and when they're not, according to the people he is behaving on or acting on the people. So when he says that the place is closed, for instance, then it's closed. And if you don't leave when it's closed, then basically he, being the representative of every other citizen in that city, says then you're trespassing. So by all means, you can certainly legally.
I agree with you, sir. I agree with you there, sir, but I don't think they're talking about like after hours. I think they're talking about any specific time. Like if you're out in the city on the public sidewalk, or if you happen to walk into the city building during open hours, you should not be able to be trespassed from a public place as long as time, place, and manner are observed without actually hurting or committing a crime.
Yep. I apologize. I misread that. I'm sorry. By all means, yes, unless you've done something to warrant actually being trespassed or to made leave, you just being there in regular operating hours on a public place is, by all means, you're right. Absolutely. I'm sorry. I may have taken that out of context.
But then some people have to understand what a public forum is too, because Walmart is not it.
No, Walmart doesn't apply. Walmart actually belongs to a private entity, so that doesn't work. So, yeah, I apologize. I spoke out of context there. I didn't realize what we were referring to. That would be the example of when you could be trespassed from a public building. And Derek's still sitting on there dying, and we're talking about other stuff. But Derek, just die quietly so we can talk about this, okay?
Die in my lonesome.
Listen to him over trying to make the show all about him tonight, Captain. Like he done something great or special.
I mean, come on, Derek. Enough of, oh, look at me, okay?
We had to celebrate for Chili's birthday, man. We had to take a chili. Actually, it sounds bad if we just say, hey, we took a chili for Chili, and yeah.
Took a chili for Chili. Just for the record, we hit like 64, 65 in here at one time, and I think that we kind of maxed out there on the chat. We're at 50 right now.
Wow.
So
I'm not sure what Lisa's talking about, but she's asking someone about somebody doing 118. I must have missed something if that was here in the local area, wondering if you knew if they had a reason.
118. What, you talking about speed, you mean? I don't know, I'm sorry.
That's my assumption.
I was street racing. I wasn't. There's no way I was going 118. No way. I was going 118 miles an hour. There was no way.
Lisa said she sent it to me, so let me check, see if I can find it.
Okay.
But like I was saying, anyways, the officer pulled me over, and at this point, I'm like crapping myself. I'm like, I'm done. My license is gonna be suspended. I'm gonna go to jail. They're gonna tow my car. How am I gonna explain this to my parents? I'm 17 years old, and he walks up, knocks on the window. He goes, driver's license, registration. So I gave it to him. He goes, I guess it's no secret on why I pulled you over, right? I was like, no, sir. He goes, all right. He's like, go ahead and sit tight. We're going to get this rolling. And when he said that, I was like, I'm done. And I sat there for probably like 10, 15 minutes. And he gets out. I'm trying to remember. He gets out. He walks up to me. He's just like, the guy you're racing, you know him? And I'm like, I have no idea who he is. He goes, all right, and walks back to his car. So another 10 minutes goes by, and I see like something pull up behind him, and it had like the orange, like the wreckers, how they have the amber strobe lights.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh man, I thought I was done. I'm like, I'm done. They're going to tow my car. There's a construction site that was across the street. I didn't know at the time because it was dark. And I guess they were going to start the midnight shift or whatever they were going to do. I didn't know at the time. So he gets out, and he's just like, listen, man. He's like, do you know how much trouble you can be in? I'm like, yeah. He's like, we can lock you up, tow your car, suspend your license, blah, 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 this and that, the whole 10 yards. I was like, yes, sir. I know. If that's what you need to do, I guess that's what we need to do. He's just like, but I'm not going to. He's just like, I'm going to let you off with a warning. never, ever, 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 ever do this again. You hear me? I said, yes, sir. He goes, now go on home. From then on, I was like, okay, you know what? Not all police are assholes. From then on, my perspective on police officers and policing just switched right then and there.
Right.
Oh,
Absolutely.
dude.
What Lisa was talking about, Captain, is she sent me a thing in the email that says that troopers from the Ironton Post, which I think is actually South Point, apparently they pulled someone over Labor Day doing 118 and a 60-mile-an-hour zone. I assume that must have been on 52 since it's the only 60 that I know of in the local area. And it was just so apparently they pulled him over for doing 118. That's all the information I have. I think she was asking if you had any additional information. I assume that you don't really talk to the state patrol much about who they pull over.
No, that's pretty normal to at plus 100 many times. Yeah.
I have a funny story. I was in a car with my cousin, and we're doing like 120 in a GTO, and we get pulled over, and the highway patrol, he walks up to the driver's window, and he looked at my cousin. He said, "Boy, I've been waiting on you all day." And my cousin looked at him just as quick as he could and said, "Well, I got here as fast as I could, sir." I was sitting in the passenger seat thinking, "Oh God, we're all going to jail." But the guy started laughing so hard that he was literally holding on to the driver's door where the window was rolled down, trying not to fall out into the highway laughing. When he finally caught his breath, he said, "If you can keep this thing under the speed limit till you get home, get the hell out of here before I change my mind." So needless to say, we went ahead home.
No kidding.
Captain, I got a question. The Ironton Police Department, do you guys rotate beats like every day, or
Do we do what now?
do you have like a patrolman that's assigned that area for the rest of his career?
Yes, it goes by seniority, and we let the older, more senior officer pick his beat at the beginning of every shift.
Do you feel that it's best to have a permanent beat or doing the rotating beats?
It's to me, I remember when I was a patrolman, I always liked what we refer to as the upper beat because it was a little less reports. It's more residential. So I always like that, but some of the young guys they like the action a little more, so they want to be in your lower. So it just depends. I mean, it's just what I like to do with my guys is I like to make sure that they go where they feel like they can be the most productive or what makes them the happiest. Whatever they're more comfortable with. So, or sometimes I'll even let my sergeant actually make the decision of where everybody's going to be. I try not to really get that much hands on. I kind of let the sergeants that are working under me actually kind of do the thing, and they kind of do what run the shift, and unless I'm needed, really, I kind of try to stay out of their business because I think they kind of tend to, they know that if I'm involved in everything, I don't think they dread me as much, But if they know that it means something special when the captain gets involved, then they know that I'm about to tear somebody's ass up 3 ways from Sunday. Then they tend to work harder to make sure that doesn't happen. And I try not to get onto my guys, but there are times that I literally see cross-eyed at them, and I'm going, you can't really be this stupid. But I'm very, very blessed. I mean, I've got a good crew right now. I've got some really, really good young guys.
I'll tell you one thing, it's like right in the stomach now. It's
Derek?
like,
Are you going to make it tonight, Derek? Are you going to make it, sir?
oh no.
Should I be looking with so much anticipation on my face?
Like fucking, it's kind of gone here. It's gone down my throat. Now it's like in my stomach. Oh,
I want to address something too, and I don't know why I'm coming out of nowhere. I just literally seen AZ Pete Girl say something about federal buildings, and it just reminded me. And this is completely off topic, but I want to say something. What's the issue that Chile's got somehow with the Native American Reserve something? You guys follow him more than I do. I don't, but I guess somebody that he's affiliated with had something over that.
It's so confusing, Captain. I got lost in this. What's his name? I think it's what Bridge the Divide. I can't remember. He explained it, and he explained it very thorough, and I still got confused.
Well, I want to talk about something that I've actually had a lot of people, and I'm not a lawyer, so I'm going to go ahead and put that disclaimer out there real fast, but I want to explain to you guys the way that jurisdiction works. Jurisdiction, generally speaking, refers to obviously the authority in which a unit has to be able to operate. First of all is geographic. That's the first thing that we talk about automatically right off the bat. Where a person has authority, right? Meaning like the actual physical grounds in which they do. Like for me, within inside the city limits of Ironton, immediately I have immediate jurisdiction to handle police matters, meaning that anything that's written within statutory law, I have full police powers, right? Meaning that anything that's actually a state law within those geographic boundaries, I have authority to be able to act. Okay. Then we have different statutory jurisdictions that lead over certain crimes. Like, for instance, the federal government on paper says, well, they have jurisdiction in the United States. However, they have very limited statutory jurisdiction on paper because they only have so many crimes that actually fall under federal authority, right? So, and then you have specialized places like the Native American reserves. Okay, those are federal or Washington D.C. That's a prime example. Washington D.C. is a federal city, right? So technically, everything is federal, but there's some that are local crimes, and then there's some that are federal crimes. I think the argument that they were making, and I may be wrong, was referring to this tribal jurisdiction because I believe this woman was not a Native American. She was not a member of the tribe, I believe. And they're saying that she does not have, or they do not have jurisdiction over her. Like, for instance, in the military, obviously, you're not going to be held to military uniform code as a civilian, generally speaking, operating within a base or whatever. You could potentially be charged, or they even sometimes will pass it off to locals or whatever it may be if you act like a fool. And like, for instance, I know like juveniles and stuff, a lot of times they'll pass it off to locals and say, hey, they don't want to charge a juvenile with the military. But anyway, effing lawyer is actually in the chat. He could probably explain this better than me. But anyway, the federal government will have jurisdiction. The federal government will have jurisdiction on that reserve because it's still a federal properties. But it doesn't mean they're going to have the right jurisdiction, meaning that they might not have a statutory jurisdiction, okay? Meaning that whatever crime she committed, and I don't know, I don't follow it, but whatever crime she committed, they could have, they may not have any jurisdiction on paper to, like, for instance, assault. Assault is a state crime, okay? So if you punch me in the nose, you're going to be charged at a state level, not a federal level, unless it's like a federal building that's exclusive jurisdiction. But anytime there's concurrent jurisdiction, it's generally speaking going to be falling to the court that has the primary jurisdiction. So, and I sound like I'm talking riddles, don't I? But for the record, I know where I'm going with this. I promise I'll get there. So I want everybody to understand that just because the federal government may have jurisdiction, as in geographic jurisdiction, it doesn't mean they will have jurisdiction over a certain crime. And if the crime that she committed wouldn't fall within those authorities, and it would be an exclusive jurisdiction, meaning that the state wouldn't have any authority there, like, for instance, there are some properties that are exclusive, then there's nobody else that can charge her other than the tribals. So that's probably what they're running into, because reality is the Department of Justice is probably not going to pick up a nonsense local crime and charge it at a federal level when it's not. It's irrelevant to them, and it may not even be something that they have jurisdiction over on statutory paper. So that's kind of where I'm getting at with that. So the reality is, just because the federal government has jurisdiction does not mean that the federal government has authority over certain crimes. That's the easiest way I can explain it. So I know that, well, she can't be charged by the tribal. Well, if there's nobody else to charge her, she's not exempt from the law. And I don't know anything about the case.
Doesn't mean she can just drink and drive if she wants to, does it?
Is that what it was, Terry? Was it that what it was?
If I'm not mistaken, I believe she was pulled over for DUI. I believe somebody in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't normally watch Chili stuff. I just hear what other people say, and I'm pretty sure they said that she was DUI is what had actually happened. So, I'm not sure whose jurisdiction that falls under, but I'm sure somebody will get her. If it's not the current ones, it'll be somebody else to pick it up.
Well, and let me just explain. A lot of those properties like that are reservations or something along those lines are usually exclusive, meaning that what happens is they were set aside by Congress and they don't belong to the state anymore. Okay, meaning that the state of fill in the blank, Arizona, whatever state it may be, I don't know, would not have jurisdiction in them, meaning that the sheriff of the state or the state police or the whatever it may be does not have jurisdiction on that property. It's exclusive, which means that you leave it up to the tribals or you leave it up to the federal government. And the federal government does not do DUIs. So there has to be somebody, or she just can't get away with it because she goes over there, right? She's not like got diplomatic immunity.
Nope,
Right?
it wasn't me. Says they believe it was painkillers and not alcohol. And again, I don't know. I just believe it was a DUI either way. So,
right, and honestly, that's irrelevant usually, because it's ultimately still the same offense. I mean, I'm speaking from what my experience is here. I can't say what it is out there and what it is in tribal lands by any means.
Logan said that she resisted and was transporting a firearm illegally, according to Logan Sandman.
Right. Well, yes, tribal law supersedes state because generally state law does not apply on those properties. Tribal law won't supersede state if they're concurrent. You see what I'm saying? For instance, I'll give you a prime example: the U.S. Post Office in Ironton, or the Social Security Administration in Ironton. We have complete concurrent jurisdiction there, which means that our local city ordinances apply there, our state laws apply there, and federal laws apply there. So there's a concurrent jurisdiction, meaning you could be arrested by IPD, you could be arrested by the county sheriff, the state, or you could be arrested by feds in there and apply different laws for the area. Okay. It doesn't mean that, generally speaking, I'll tell you this, even though it's a federal thing to be on that federal property, generally speaking, we would be primary because of the immediate access. So we would actually be primary to assume jurisdiction over something that would be there, unless it would be like a major crime of like terrorism that would fall under a federal thing. So that's what I'm trying to get at. Like everybody's like, oh well, they don't have jurisdiction or they have jurisdiction. That's not exact. It's not that way really. You know, generally speaking, if you do something stupid and there's not anybody else to pick up the charges, it's probably going to go to the nearest jurisdiction. You know, that's kind of how it works. Somebody's got to have.
You all right, Derek? You okay, Derek? You gonna make it, sir?
You're muted, Derek.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hop off here.
All right, buddy. Well, if you need anything, let me know, brother. Like I said, I'm sorry you're going through this, but maybe get you something to settle your stomach and crash out wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah,
I was serious about the manual labor for your move too. If you need an extra pair of hands, man, let me know. I'm good for general free labor.
And you know, I'm offering the same. And anytime you ever need my truck, by all means, you're welcome to it.
I appreciate it, guys. Hey, thanks for watching me do this stupid thing I did. We did it. We did something. Now I got to live with it. But
you taught us all not to try it. Thank you.
Yeah, don't.
Valuable lesson. Valuable lesson.
If somebody tries to talk you into it, tell them to fuck off.
Derek, good night, brother. Appreciate you hanging out and bringing the video and stuff. And probably maybe next week we'll probably be doing something else. And we're gonna get better at this, guys. I understand what we're doing. So, but we'll plan something probably next week and get it going again. I hope you feel better, brother.
Thank you, guys. You guys in chat, you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out.
And make sure you check out Bits and Pieces. Check out his channel. If you're not subscribed, shame on you.
Yeah, we're getting close to 2,000 followers.
Yeah, we got to get him 2,000.
So very close.
By all means, let's get over $2,000 on that real fast.
Hey, guys, I love you guys, and I'll see you soon.
Good night, brother.
Bye.
That sucks for him. I'm sorry that it went that way.
Yeah, man. I mean, I knew.
I was hoping it would be a little more. I was hoping it'd be a little more amusing and a lot less painful for him.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be bad. I knew. I mean, I didn't. I can't do it anyway. I can't handle that stuff. Absolutely can't do that stuff. Let's check in with the chat. We got anything going on over here, guys?
Hey, I just only had to say one thing. You know, I just want to squeeze it in there. You know, Stockton 209. That's all I gotta say. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I saw a legend fight his last fight last night.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
he got it done. You know, a lot of people were, the conspiracy theorists were saying, "Oh, it was they planned it like that," and Tony let him win, and I'm like,
Bullshit.
no, he was piecing him up the whole entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
For all those out there, including Mark, the sarcastic law student, who's not sure what happened to Bits and Pieces, he ate one of the, what is it, like the world's hottest gummy bear or something like that is what it was entitled. So
Yeah, it's like 9 million Schofield heat or something crazy. Christine, you say you got a question for me. I'm paying attention, dear. I'm sorry. But yeah, yeah, I think we got to see. Which I hope Nate really doesn't actually retire. I hope he comes back out. But I just like watching him fight. He's got his hands are like laser beams anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Effin Lawyer says he's stuck at 1.2 and Bits is almost at 2,000. So if you're out there and you're listening, check out Effin Lawyer.
By all means. And I'll tell you this.
I don't have his link available, or I'd put it in the chat.
I don't either. But yeah, Phil, if any of the mods can do that, that would be great. Put his link in there, because I'm gonna tell you this, man. Some of the most detailed legal explanation of some of the nonsense that you see on here, he's by far. He breaks it all down. Be like, nah, not so fast. This is why. So, and his videos are awesome.
Captain, do you think Nate would have won against Chazmat Mayev?
I don't know. I really, honestly, I was worried about that fight anyway because, which I'll be honest, I don't like that Chimaev guy.
I mean, he's gonna fall. It's just a matter of who's gonna do it. But
God,
I guess because I'm ride or die Nate Diaz. If the fight was still going on,
I didn't like that. I didn't like the way that happened though, dude. You can't miss. How are you a professional?
7 pounds, like
yeah, almost 8 pounds. Yeah,
I mean, there are fighters out there that make weight and they start to cut it like I think they said probably 2 weeks out.
Oh yeah,
they start their cut. Some of them do.
So usually the last 12 hours or so, you don't intake anything. And we used to, some of the stuff we used to do, I mean, it was stupid. But hell, we'd go around and spit and everything else to try to just anything you could, talking laxatives the day before and anything you could do.
I mean, my thing is, it's like you knew what weight class you were fighting at. You knew you were over, and his excuse was that apparently, from what per Dana White saying, that he was starting his weight cut, and I guess thought he was going to cut it all within 24 hours, and he started locking up, and they had the UFC doctors, which are the best doctors in the country, come in and say, yeah, you got to stop cutting. Right. And so that's what Kazmat was saying. Like, they came in at 4 o'clock in the morning and told me to stop cutting.
I don't believe that. He's not going to wait till 24 hours to cut. That's bullshit.
Hey, Lisa, thank you for putting that in there. That was the right link, and I recopied and repasted. So thank you to Lisa for putting Effin Lawyer's link up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, we used to wear garbage bags and train in them and stuff. I actually cut 11 pounds in one day, one time. I mean, that's not healthy. I don't want to tell anybody that's stupid, but that was a long time ago.
I like when I wrestled in high school, I think I cut weight like one time, and it wasn't much. It was, I don't know, like 3 pounds maybe. It wasn't that much, but I don't know how it cut me. But they were like, there's this one guy, he was our heavyweight, and they I don't know what they did with the rules, but he was our heavyweight, but he was too light. And so this was so freaking wrong. And like I said, this was like 21 years ago, 22 years ago. They made him, there was McDonald's like walking distance from the high school. So we bought him like Big Macs and everything. And he ate it all. And he went to go weigh in and he just hit the mark. And then afterwards, he just threw it all up. Like, that was like, I was like, that's pretty brutal, man. It's wrong too, I think.
Oh yeah. Which I mean, you know, lots changed too over the years. I remember, like I said,
Check
I
out
remember.
Albie Pollin's comment, sir, while you're talking there.
I need to share. No kidding. Oh man.
Since he and I are about the same height, I will volunteer if that becomes if that's an opportunity. I will volunteer. I'll play the part.
Volunteer to be chilly.
I've got about the right size.
You do. You're definitely about his height, I think. Anyway. Oh man, yeah. He's such a weird guy. It doesn't matter. Um, but yeah, you know, I remember cutting weight. You know, like and then some silly stuff and losing a lot of weight and stuff, and you know the garbage bags and you know running in the heat with the bags on, sweat and pour water out of you and everything, and you know and taking laxatives a couple of days before and trying to really, I mean, just stupid. You know, which that they're a little more strict on that stuff nowadays for the youth athletics, I think, than what they were when we were kids. But you know, which I mean, I was planning on. I'm not gonna lie, I was planning on right before the fight, and you know, depending on where I was at, you know, probably going ahead and doing the plastic bag and laxative thing like the day before, just to make sure I got down where I wanted to be. But to be honest with you, the reason I was going to do that was because he liked to make the statement that I would never be 240 by the time of the fight, that I would be 250 plus. And I knew, I mean, I know my body, and I knew I was going to be under 240 for the fight. And then even when I fell off with a knee and I couldn't work the cardio as hard as I wanted to, I went back and weighed myself in. Even after that, and I was at a 251, you know, and that was still 3 weeks ago. So there's no doubt in my mind I would have been way under 240.
So what's the head count for like people who are coming down for the 24th?
I don't know. Terry, if you got a jet, buddy, that's no problem. I didn't know that you were doing another live.
Well, I didn't either. It kind of came in right about the same time yours did, so that's usually how it works. I have 2 or 3 people hit me up, but it's he's coming on at 10:30, so I got a few minutes here.
Okay, well, we'll just. Is it Sovereign? Is he going on? I didn't know if I don't want to run over on anybody else anyway.
I was also told that Chili's coming on at 10:30 too, so maybe there'll be something interesting for you to watch there.
I usually don't watch his channel. I wait till somebody does some kind of breakdown on it. So,
I just want to say I'm about to hop off here real soon. I just want to say I was watching I think this was like about a week ago. I think it was when Terry, you had a live stream, and what I said was, hey, look, listen, you know, Rights On and all them are come down here and you know do their thing and audit and provoke the townspeople and you know provoke the police. When I said be on the lookout, that wasn't me saying, hey, look, be on the lookout and jump them or fight them. What I meant to say was, hey, be on the lookout. If you see them, don't engage. Just walk the other way. That's what I meant by that.
absolutely.
And Sovereign kind of got all like, don't come in here starting shit, dick measuring contest. That's not what I meant at all. All I meant was like, hey, be on the lookout. If you see
I didn't think I didn't take it that way. I didn't take it that way at all. He takes things the way he takes it. He's a little interesting fella. So, you know. But as far as me, if there are other auditors that are going to come into town and audit, hey, I say bring it on. Come on, let's get it done. I don't mind. I don't mind sharing the public streets with everybody. The entire city of Ironton can come out and film with me if they want.
Yeah, that's all that I meant. I wasn't trying, to have the people of Ironton and the IPD take up arms and go after these guys that want to come down and do that.
Well, he's going to be real surprised anyway because we're not going to be in Ironton.
I figure
we're in Ashland.
If they start razzing the locals will take care of them. They won't need me out there. The locals will take care of them just fine. I promise you.
Especially when what they realize is they're going to be in an MMA event with everybody there is probably a fighter or from a fighting gym. It's probably not a real good idea to go in there and act like too much of a dickweed with a camera in somebody's face, or you're liable to get it shoved up your ass.
Yeah, I like Sovereign, man. I like watching his live streams.
Would that be like a hillbilly colonoscopy, sir?
Yeah, that would be like an enema, like an iPhone enema. So, listen, I'll tell you what, guys. Since we got some other stuff, who's coming on, Terry? By the way, I have people asking in the chat. Who's your stream up with? You know?
Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind is coming on at 10:30. I usually attend his show like I do yours. I'm just kind of like since I ain't worth a shit as an auditor according to some people, and not necessarily worth a shit as a human to others, at least I make a good co-host, so I jump on and have some fun with it.
Well, I'm a firm believer that you're, in my opinion, the one that got it figured out the best. But that's just my opinion. Maybe it's
Likewise.
Maybe I'm too big of a dumbass to even know. I don't know. But anyway,
I appreciate that. I have a lot of support from both sides of the aisle. I have cop haters and cop lovers. They all seem to watch my channel, and I just try to walk the line between them and keep the peace.
I don't really know. I get some of the weirdest things, and I'll mention this, and I'll ask you guys. Who is this Aaron Queen guy? I know you guys have seen him in the chats and stuff. Who is that account?
I have yet to figure out who it is. I assume that it's Aaron Queen.
Well, I mean, I'm just wondering if anybody in the chat knows who that is, who that account is, because that guy is something else. I'll be honest, I actually blocked him.
He's fairly opinionated, is he not?
Well, he's nasty. Like, I mean, I posted a picture with my beautiful wife, and and I'm just trying to share my family with you guys because I feel like I got close with a lot of you guys. He immediately starts talking nasty stuff. I'm like, look, man, your First Amendment rights go out the door when you talk about my wife, because now you're talking about personal level, and I guarantee you wouldn't say it to my fucking face.
Mm-hmm.
But and I shouldn't let that get.
Are you saying you give him an iPhone enema?
I can tell you that I wouldn't be Captain Chad at that point. I would just be Chad, and I would be my old hillbilly self that's not going to put up with that nonsense of me talking about my wife to my face. But anyway, I had to block him because I'm not going to tolerate that. My kids sometimes get on my channel and read stuff or whatever, and I mean, I don't want them seeing stuff like that. That guy being nasty. My wife is beautiful, but recognize her as a beautiful woman and let it go. You can be respectful of it and say what you want to without saying nasty stuff. And he just takes shots of anything he wants to anyway. And anything I post, anybody that's pro police or anything post, he's got some kind of dickhead comment to say or argue, and it's like, dude, shut up. I mean, seriously, you can't have that much free time that you disagree with everything. I mean, everything. Like, seriously, like, get a hobby, But anyway, I just wanted to.
Some people's hobby just is razzing you, sir.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know why. I had somebody. Oh, it's funny you said. I had somebody the other day say something about and this was somebody that hated me. He's like, "You're just famous because of chili," and I said, "Well, first of all, thank you for thinking that I'm famous." Because I'm not. I was like, I'm not famous. I was like, I'm just Chad, and he's like, "Oh, you're like a star because of this." I'm like, I'm a star, dude. Seriously. Oh, I'm just regular Chad.
I'll tell you what he did do, though, Captain. He brought a lot of us together, did he not? A lot of people you and I would have never met. Personally, the two of us would have never met, and so many people on YouTube we would have never met had it not been for him. So he brought an entire community together.
I have made some, and I was talking about this last night when I was on with Blue Bear. That's another thing, guys. If you haven't checked out Blue Bear, check him out, man. He does some cool stuff. But anyway,
absolutely, I agree. Laying down the law with Blue Bear is the name of the channel. I'm not sure if I have a link for him either.
Well, and I'll tell you this: I don't know a lot of your all's faces. I don't know a lot of your real names, but there's a lot of you guys that I sure do. I've come to recognize as more than just my subs or whatever. I look at you guys like friends, and it's almost like there's times I'll post a video and I'll see the same names kind of pop up, and it's almost like it's reassuring to feel like, oh, I know I got a friend here now. I know I got an ally here now, because I'm just waiting for somebody to take a shot at me or say something awful or whatever. And it's like, feels good to know I got somebody on my side here, and whatever. So, but I'll tell you,
isn't it great when your subscribers take up for you instead of you don't even have to say anything for yourself? Hell, they'll take up for you, and you don't have to say anything. I know they do for me.
There's several people in the chat right now, including Scumdog. It's here on the panel with us, and there's been times I'm getting ready to click on. I mean, I'm getting ready for my keyboard warrior, and I look on there, and Scumdog's just like beating the piss out of them intellectually. I'm going, oh well, I got
yeah.
Or and I've seen a few of them do that. I've seen Lisa do that. I've seen some other ones that I know are in the chat here and I'm going, God, I didn't have to say anything. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
It's like, I appreciate you guys more than you know, man.
And thank you to you all for that. Absolutely.
Thank you very much. It really does make a difference to me, because I get I mean, we're human, you know what I mean? And there are times I'm like, man, I'm trying my best to put something on here that you guys can enjoy or try to see. And that's just it. Is like most of my stuff, I don't even talk about anybody. Yeah, I mean, I usually try to get on there and like give somebody some kind of inspiration or something. I don't like saying nasty stuff about people. I've openly said, you've heard me. I literally start us thing off saying, I hope Chili has a good birthday. I mean, I don't hate anybody.
Right.
There are some people that get under my skin, right? But I don't hate anybody. I want everybody to be blessed.
Yeah, I don't hate anyone either. It's like with shit, I forgot his name already. Like Tim Lines, it's like, God, I want to like him. I just want to like him because he seems like a cool dude. But it's like he's like back and forth. It's like,
yeah,
I
because
don't hate him.
sometimes he says nice things about me, and then sometimes he just like tears me up. I'm like, dude, like I've never done anything to you. I don't know why you hate me, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, he's a big fan
Hey,
of
sir,
yours.
I need to respond to Roseanne there. She said she just popped over and subscribed to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind.
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
I want to say that anyone who subscribes to his channel, get ready for a channel that's unlike most you're used to watching. It has nothing to do with auditing. It sure doesn't have anything to do with what we talk about here. It is a channel in and of all to itself. So get ready for some interesting topics on that channel.
He is a different cat, but he is a nice fella. He is a nice guy. He is. He's a nice fella, and he's a freedom loving guy. And that's the thing, is I don't have to agree with him. I don't have to agree with a lot of his thoughts and stuff like that to still appreciate the fact that he has the right to have them, just like I do. And I can support that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm all about, you guys know how I am. I'm a big pro 2A guy, and I'm a firm believer, and you guys probably agree with me in this, but without that 2A, we ain't got no 1A. That 2A is what protects our freedoms, knowing that we're
we don't have any A's.
That's right. Yeah, I should say you're right.
We don't have any A's without that 2A.
You're right. You're right. But you know where I was going with that. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up so that everybody's got time to maybe go over and check out Sovereign. Listen, I want you guys, if you guys don't have anything else to do, go over and hang out with Terry and Sovereign. We got almost 50 in here now. We've hit up over the 60s a few times or whatever. I want you guys to go over and hang out with Sovereign. Just check them out. Even if you just give 10 minutes to go over and say hi, give them some support, show them some love. Again, check out F and Lawyer, check out Iron Auditor by all means. If you're not subscribed to Iron Auditor, if you want to see the way it's done right, that's who you need to check out. If you want to see what it's like to go around and generally try to film from a safe, respectable distance, and to be respectful and courteous to people, Terry does it the right way, in my opinion. And I'm not an expert on it. I probably don't know my butt from a hole in the ground when it comes to being able to do that stuff, but I think the way he does it probably will get more results in the long run than being a jerk.
Not only have I not been arrested, no one's even threatened me.
Yeah. So and that's just it. Is my guys even got so comfortable that they were literally waiting on Terry when they get done with the stop to walk up and tell him what's going on, because they don't dread him screaming and cussing in their face. They don't have to worry about Terry getting up there calling them a bunch of bad names. So of course they don't mind to talk to him, because nobody wants to be sitting there and be cussed at. Like Chili immediately was doing to people. That's not right, man. Don't do people like that. But Terry does it the right way, in my opinion. So, but we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Let's do this. Scumdog, I'll let you have your last word, like I try to do every week.
Everyone have a good night, and love everyone. And until next time.
Until next time. Mr. Terry Ironton Auditor, what you got to say to everybody for a goodbye?
Well, first of all, thanks for coming up here with us, Scumdog. It's always good to have you here. Captain, thanks for having me here. I always have fun here. And, of course, hello and goodbye to everybody in the chat. If you want to come over and check us out on Sovereign's channel here in a few minutes, come over and check us out. Know that every Tuesday, usually about 9 or 9:30, we have what we call Tinfoil Hat Tuesday. Anybody's welcome to join you. Come on and we'll talk about your favorite conspiracy theory. That's usually what that channel, you'll talk about everything from the flat earth to 9/11. Just everything that you can imagine is open and ready to be spoke of on that channel. So it's definitely a different one.
Okay. Well, make sure you check him out, guys. I mean, it's worth your time. You know what? Here's the way you look at it. If you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe. But give them the benefit of the doubt. Try them out for a few weeks, whatever. And I say it about any channel. You know what I mean? Like, unless you're completely against what their pitch is, or their propaganda, so to speak, then why not give them a try? If you don't like it, unsubscribe. But I appreciate you guys, man. You guys.
Some people just come to argue. We like that too.
Yeah, I get tired of that. My wife gets tired of that too because I get my blood pressure up and she's like, "Oh my God, just shut it. Don't worry about it." But honey, you got anything to say to everybody?
Good night.
Lots of
Tired.
lots of words there from my beautiful wife. But she's so pretty though. I have to keep her
Lady
around.
of lady of nothing to say there.
Yeah, she's not to say she's a lady of few words is an understatement, right?
I'm usually asleep by now.
But I did get her to actually do her own video today, guys. I actually talked her into it, so we're gonna start doing some more stuff. I'm trying to get her kind of involved in the channel. But listen, we appreciate you guys so much. You guys have been such a big part of my inspiration, you know, and I want you guys to know that we're still going, and I've kind of had to back off. Tag on, I got something stuck in my freaking mustache, kept aggravating me. Um, but I want you guys to know that the past few days I've kind of felt kind of crappy, so I haven't really been out doing much training or anything, kind of resting my body. But I'm going to get back at it, and I don't know for what the future holds. She and I have talked about it, and I will never go against her about anything. You know, we talked about me taking a fight later on or whatever, but my body is I'm not so sure that's going to be a real good idea for me. But at very least, I'm still going to get back into doing more tactical training, getting more involved in, and maybe doing, like, if you haven't looked up tactical games or know what that is, look it up. I'm kind of considering doing one of those if one comes close enough within a year or so. And maybe, depending on how my knee recovers, you know, if I can get back to training consistently with Taurus, then I may even do some grappling tournaments, some jiu-jitsu tournaments and stuff. I don't know yet because my knee is just, you know, I worked it out the other day and it's not ready. I was still limping again for 2 days afterwards. So I have to see what's going on with that. But at very least, I know I can run and train and bike and stuff, so I can at least get myself back in cardio shape like I want to. So, but we're going to keep going. I'm going to keep with the videos and stuff. And hopefully we're going to be doing a weekly live stream from now on where we're going to be doing more of these reaction type videos and stuff with Bits and Iron Auditor. And I'm trying to get some other ones involved. So we're going to keep this going. We're going to keep growing this channel just because, to be honest with you, now I'm kind of interested in it. I want to grow. I want to see what we can do. So, but I appreciate you guys. God bless you guys. I promise you that if you stay focused and you stay positive, things always turn out good. You just have to keep your eye on the prize. And always remember, no matter what, you always be somebody's blessing. You can always have the opportunity to pat somebody on the back or encourage them or do something good for your community or your people. You don't have to go off and chase the world around to be able to make change. Make change in your own backyard, at your own grocery store, wherever you're at. Don't go Walmart and film people. It's silly, right? But we appreciate you guys, and I will catch you next time. And remember, if you train like you fight, you will fight like you train. Good night, guys.
Everybody have a great night.